either.
Hmm. No, like, yeah. I have an engineering 2, science 3, medicine 5.
Okay, so
Oh, damn, dude.
I'm ready to begin.
Security
then.
3.
This week's episode is called First in a Village, and whenever the commander is ready.
Whenever the commander is ready. Very well. Is the stream up and running?
Stream is up and running.
Alright, then here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your captain's log, stardate 53610.4. The Hadfield is back at the edge of explored space and is continuing with its mission of scientific discovery. After the last two systems explored over the past couple of weeks have proved very uneventful, our waiting has paid off in our discovery of the Lyle system. From what we can tell, this system is a treasure trove of potential scientific research in a variety of fields. Now, early sensor readings have told us that there is a yellow star in the system, similar to that of Earth's. It is currently in a state of heightened solar activity. Also spotted are 5 planets, all of various compositions and orbits. Our preliminary reports indicate that the fourth planet from the star in the star's habitable zone and could harbor life. The long-range scanners indicated that this system lies within a band of clelic radiation, which we only thought was theoretical so far. After a long dry spell, the crew of the Hadfield is ready to get cracking at the secrets the system can offer us. End log.
Alright, so to start off this episode, I am going to move us all to... Oh, hang on. I gotta be careful how I move you guys around. Because spoilers.
Really quick, could I ask you to just post the text of that log to either the chat or to Roll20?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you just put that in, like, the fleet reports. Let me...
Thanks.
Yeah. That's actually one that I could totally see being needed. Let me pull up the Starship ambience. I want... Kismet Bridges goods. Close enough. Okay. So we join you all on the bridge. You have just entered the Lyle system. And
Okay.
it's at this point that I'm more or less turning things over to you, because this is a very open-ended first bit.
Alright, let's start off. Lieutenant Velas, scan the system, please. Tell me if there's anything we missed.
Aye, Captain. Should I do a sensor sweep task now?
Yep.
Yes,
In this
sensor
case-
sweep, long range, please.
In this case, it's going to be difficulty 0, just because of all the fun stuff that you guys get, and it will be assisted by the ship's sensors science.
I will roll the ship. Let's see if we can generate some momentum to start us off.
Yep, it's a
Cool.
reason science roll.
Alright.
You can use the character sheet to do it.
Oh, okay, got it.
In that case, though, neither of
Yeah.
those would be successes.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't think.
Hey, but we got a momentum.
Alright.
No, you didn't, because in order for the ship's task to count for anything, the
He has to have one success.
The person rolling needs to actually get a success.
Aha, so we don't
Oh.
generate jack.
Off to a great start then.
It's a difficulty 0, so
So,
it doesn't.
Okay, true.
so well,
Mm.
with that, here's what I'll tell you. The 5 planets in the, you are picking up the bands of clelic radiation. The readings pretty much line up to what you had before. Same with the star. The star appears to be in a state of heightened stellar activity, no specifics. And there are 5 planets in the system, and as has been mentioned, the 4th one, on closer examination, does seem to be giving off life signs.
Okay.
At this range, it's very non-specific, but
Mhm. Gotcha. Alright. Alright, we are picking up life signs. I can confirm the life signs we picked up earlier, but it looks like we're getting some interference from that clelic radiation band.
I see. Doctor, could this cleric radiation potentially be harmful to the ship or the crew?
Mm,
I can give
I
you.
don't.
I can.
Yeah,
ping
give me a
you-
roll.
I can ping. Well, more so, I'll ping you the information.
That'll work because I don't actually know.
We've never heard of a cleric radiation.
Not as a person. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing the math in her head.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Serious mathematics going on right now.
Oh yes.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, it's hard to tell. Up until now, that type of radiation's only been theoretical. There's a few references I remember that say what the effects could be, but there's no like 100% this is what happens kind of thing. But most models show that, you know, to living things, it's usually all right.
I see. Thank you, Doctor. Lieutenant Velas, we reported seeing a star similar to that of Earth, am I correct?
Correct, Captain.
And some free will. Get us in closer to that star a bit. I want to study that for. Try not to scorch the shields.
Aye, Captain. Do I need to roll for it?
If you want to give me a difficulty 1 check to get through this radiation.
Control con,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I
Assisted
have
by engines con.
Yep.
Hey,
Nice. You gain 2 momentum.
that's the ship. So let's see what. We
we
generate.
get 3 momentum.
Only the first. Yeah. Only so. No. Only that first starship task counts. Wait. Oh. I'm
That
sorry,
one's a
you did
sensor
get-
sign.
you
So
did
I
get- I'm
rolled. I
sorry,
rolled first
was
before, and some
misreading.
free will. Roll your untapped potential, please.
Wait a second. Are there 6 of you? Oh.
They did.
Oh. That feels good.
There were 2, and then he got 2 and a 0.
Yeah.
2 successes and a 0.
And
Well,
I
we
think
generally
the GM gets threat
Yeah. I start off with
for
12.
my top.
I took care of
Yeah,
that.
but I rolled on top potential and I got nothing, which is
Yeah.
like you get a threat,
No,
right?
I only get threat if you roll an effect.
Yeah. So if you roll an
okay.
effect, he gets threat. If you roll good, then we.
Get stuff.
All right.
If you roll nothing, nothing happens. So you
Oh.
are currently now, so after about, I'd say half an hour, you pull up in orbit of the Lyle system's main star. Well, not main star, but its star.
Okay. Who is our engineer? I have to ask.
That would be me, Lieutenant Wallace.
Okay. Lieutenant Velas and Lieutenant Wallace, please conduct a small survey of this star. Use records from the Earth star, the sun, and try and compare it. See if you can find any similarities.
Hi, Captain. We'll begin our analysis immediately.
Well,
So
Understood.
you want to get a start on that? Wait, why'd you roll a? Oh, okay. In that case, I want our science officer, Lieutenant Wallace, to roll a
I'm engineer.
hang on, reason
Valas
science.
is science.
Uh,
Wallace
Yeah.
is engineering.
I'm sorry, I want Valas to roll a reason science difficulty 2 brought down to difficulty 1 by the ship's sensors
Cool.
to gather readings about this star.
Will do.
To which
Assisted
I
by
am
the
go-
ship?
To which I'm going to start typing up a message to you. So hang on, let me tell you
Oh,
how
sorry.
you roll it first. Oh,
Oh.
you already took care. Jesus Christ.
I'm quick study.
Okay, that happened. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And then the ship.
What is the ship roll?
Sensor science.
Sensor science.
You might max out on momentum.
So we generate. Is that 2 momentum?
Cool.
Oh yeah, boys.
All right. Should I roll potential now?
Do you have it?
Yes.
Well, feel free.
Then
to.
yes, roll a challenge die.
Feel free to if
Okay.
you want. Nothing happens.
You got nothing.
And
Cool.
give me a second. I have to type up a thing to your science officer.
Okay.
I just realized I could assist either one of them.
That's true.
You could have, yes.
No, I can still assist the engineer if we need that.
Are you want me to roll an assist for this as well, or? Because I know I was told.
No,
help out.
roll's done, so just let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead, we get to admire this beautiful bridge of the Nova Cloud.
Yes, it's a very nice bridge. You guys have a very nice bridge.
See those couches? Crushed velvet.
Mm,
Hell yeah.
Ooh, so comfortable.
as opposed to rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
They stain really easily, though.
I don't know. At least the EXO has a seat on this bridge.
Hey, this is why we have a no ice cream allowed on the bridge.
No, our captain on the other ship actually banned Prax from sitting on the bridge.
You know, that's just a
The
running
only-
joke, right? There is actually a chair on the bridge for me.
I know.
The only thing I banned from the ship is anime, so we're good.
Okay, for the last time.
No, it's manga.
That
It's fine.
wasn't meant to be anime. It was meant to be calling back to old samurai flicks. Was what that holodeck episode was supposed to be.
Yes, and
It's
I
okay.
still
The
banned
doctor
anime.
reads manga, so it's all good.
Okay, there you go.
You're not really aware what's happening in the holiday.
No,
It appears that the Clelic radiation is being caused by the heat of the sun itself.
No,
about
that's
30
not what it actually says.
Oh, the heat given off. Oh, got it. Sorry, my
Yes,
bad.
it's-
I read that too
In fact,
quickly.
it is exactly the opposite of that.
Yes. It appears that the heat of the sun is actually creating a barrier to Clelic radiation within about a 30,000-mile radius.
Interesting.
Nothing. Yeah, has something to do with looks like it was also in a high orbit period. Interesting data, but nothing unusual.
I see. Have you found any similarities between this sun and our sun back on Earth?
Could I use a obtain information spend to get that information?
As the science officer, you get one of those questions for free.
Okay, well that's the question. Is there any difference between this and Sol?
I mean, they're similar stellar types. It's a similar star type.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if this exact sun were to be replaced with the sun in the Sol system, it would change things.
The basic parameters are okay. Any other information from that, or is that
That answered your question.
got it? The basic
Sorry, you're
properties.
breaking up a bit here, guys. I heard something about a replacement.
No, it's
Yeah, we're gonna replace a star, man. We're
No,
gonna
I-
tractor beam this one out of the system, and we're gonna bring a new one in.
no. What I was telling him was that it's the same stellar type as our sun, but I mean, if you were to replace the two, you definitely notice some differences.
Got it. Okay, so it seems like the basic properties match up with your standard G-type star, but there's some unusual interaction with the radiation. Might require further study.
I see. All right, I think we spent enough time here, and probably got nothing quite worthy out of it. Ensign Free Will, get us to one of the planets, standard orbit, if you will.
Which one?
Which one's the
Yes,
closest
Captain.
one to the sun?
Currently, the closest one to the sun would be, well, the first planet.
Yes, exactly. I want to go to the first planet close to this. I wish to inspect if there are life signs aboard that planet.
Okay, you go to that planet, and sure to hell, it's just a tiny. Well, this is the first planet. It is a tiny little ball of rock that's probably just hundreds of degrees down on the planet's surface. Not too dissimilar to a planet on which you found a massive solar array once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Seems like so long ago. Very well. Lieutenant Velas, could you please do a deep scan of the planet's surface to determine if there are any mining-worthy things in it?
I'm Captain, conducting geological survey.
Okay, that'll be a reason science difficulty 1 brought down to difficulty 0. Jesus Christ.
And I would like to assist because I'm a miner's kid.
Oh god.
Why not?
You may do so.
Sure, I'll allow it because you have a focus.
Okay.
Oof.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and roll first.
Yes, please.
Oh.
2 momentum, alright. Roll the assist, and I will roll sensor science.
Nope. I got nothing. Sorry.
To generate 3 momentum.
Okay, so you're now at 2 over. So you have
Yeah.
to either spend that momentum on something now, or you're gonna lose it. The information I'll give you is that, I mean, this is just a very basic ball of iron and nickel. This is about as unremarkable as planets come.
But I mean, it has mining potential, correct?
I mean, not really. Iron and nickel are not minerals that the Federation is particularly preoccupied with.
Aha. There's no latinum aboard this planet.
There's no latinum, there's no duranium, there's nothing like that.
Cool.
Okay. I don't see if we could do anything else here, so I'm just gonna discard these 2 momentum. Sad to see you go, but what can you do? Very well. Lieutenant Velas, report.
Seems typical iron nickel composition. No, very. Doesn't seem there has much in the way of worthwhile minerals here.
Very well. And some free will. Get us close to one of these systems which we read has some life signs aboard it, if you will, please. Standard orbit.
Of which
Crew of the Hadfield, yellow alert.
of
Will this
which-
take us outside? Will this take us outside the radiation
Yeah.
barrier?
No, it will not. This is a
Okay.
this radiation field blankets the entire system.
Got it.
So, there's only one planet in the system from which you are getting these light readings, and that is Lyle 4. So you're gonna move to standard orbit, I assume?
Standard orbit around Lyle 4. Weapon crews and all other crews on standby, if need be.
Mm-hmm. So you are, hang on, let me see it. So you come into orbit above this planet. It is a dusty, what's the dusty brown ball of desert.
Okay. Lieutenant Velas, this is the planet that we were getting life signs from, correct?
Correct, Captain.
Very well. Okay, so help me out here, guys. Out of character. Officer Suitland, what the hell is your rank? Can you explain this to me?
I'm a
Petty
petty
officer
officer first class.
Aha, okay.
EO1,
He's
petty officer
enlisted.
first class.
Yeah.
So what would I refer to you, just like, casually on the bridge?
Petty officer.
Petty officer Suitland, if you want to be formal.
Okay.
Or just
Uh,
Kel, if you want to be informal.
Petty Officer Suitland, please conduct a survey of the planet to detect to see if you can detect any weapon systems or anything that might hit us while we're in orbit of this planet.
On it, boss.
That'll be Insight Security, a ship assisted by the ship's, I'll say sensor security.
Sensor security.
Difficulty, difficulty 0.
Let's
You
generate
don't
some
even, you don't even
momentum.
well, here's the thing. You don't even have to make the roll, and unless you're planning on spending any extra momentum that you create, there's really no point.
I mean, yeah, I guess we're on cap, so just tell us what it's.
Yeah. The answer to that is no. You are not detecting any kind of weapon signatures from the planet's surface.
What do you say?
No kind
What
of
a-
weapon signatures from the surface. Very well.
And
Um,
energy signatures?
We will just get to
Yeah.
that. Lieutenant Valat, please conduct another scan for life forms because our previous scans were a bit spotty.
Yes, sir. Is that reason plus science again?
Yes, and this time it'll be difficulty 1 after everything.
Got it. Cool.
Assisted by ship's sensor science.
Mhm.
Okay. Hey,
Okay.
generate a momentum.
But
Cool.
you can't do anything with it.
We can
You can
ask
ask
questions.
questions.
Oh, that is true.
Yes.
You can ask questions, although the
Yep.
officer does get a free one.
Okay.
Give me a moment to. Got a message. Got a message of Velas.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. Petty officer first class. God damn.
I mean, a lot of times if it's an enlisted person on the bridge, it'll just be Mr. name or Ms. name. So that might be easier
suppose
to run
so.
through
Yeah, because there's a few times Picard calls O'Brien Mr. O'Brien.
that. Mhm.
Yeah, but they
I
generally.
guess that
call
would
him
make
chief.
sense, because the only other usual abbreviation would be chief, and
Mhm.
I'm not a chief.
Yeah, you're not a chief petty officer. You're just a petty officer.
I mean, as long
One
as
step
yeoman
down.
land, but
I'm glad mine is easy. It's Doctor.
Just two
That's
simple
easy.
letters and a.
easy to remember.
Why are doctors never referred to by rank?
I think the doctor title just supersedes that. But
Yeah.
that-
Because
It,
like, I
it's
think
because
you know in real military how you don't call doctors like major etc. You call them doctor because doctor is above
Or-
every rank.
Or you call them corpsmen.
Yeah, corpsman
Yeah.
or doctor. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I gave you
Okay.
your.
it's because with like doctor's orders, like we can even order admirals
Yep.
if it benefits their health.
Okay, across the planet's surface, there appears to be vegetation and some small wildlife. Nothing doesn't look like anything humanoid, but there are some dense pockets of life signs in small 2-kilometer regions across the planet's surface, but only about half the size of Earth's moon. Each region.
No, the
Oh.
planet itself is.
Oh, the planet
okay.
itself is small. Okay, got it.
Okay. How many pockets exactly are you reading, Lieutenant Vlas?
That could be your question.
Yeah, and I think well, if I spend that momentum, I think one of my talents lets me ask another question for free.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah, I get one for free. And if I spend one of those momentum, I can actually get 3 questions.
Okay.
So I'll spend
Yeah,
momentum.
we have one extra because we have one
Oh,
extra
there you go.
momentum.
I
Two
spent
questions
so
for free.
that is the answer to your first question.
Cool. Looks like it's about approximately a dozen of these small pockets.
very well. And
Um,
your second question?
yeah. Can I determine the type of life signs inside the small pockets, or is that going to cut
Yep.
at all?
That is, I will totally allow that.
Groovy?
Groovy, baby.
Captain, they're humanoid.
Say again.
There's humanoid life on this planet.
Humanoid as in myself, as in human from Earth.
No, not
As in, no,
I won't even
humanoid.
Yeah, I won't make you spend any for that. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Captain is kind of stupid. You're
okay.
gonna have to let that one slide.
It's all right. No, still getting some.
Doctor looks bemused.
Yeah. Well, they're likely some form of alien. And I get one more question because of my studious talent, I believe, right?
Yep.
Their technology level, if they have any.
That would be that's what I would have asked.
Mm-hmm.
Anything indicating to-
What kind of
absolutely
structures
allow
can we
that.
see, etc.?
Yeah.
Do they have clubs and party and things like that?
Well, no, because if they don't have a certain level of technology, we have to go about this a very different way.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Prime directive and all that.
Well, hey, we broke the Prime Directive before. We can totally do it again.
Let's avoid that.
Seems
We
just
bend the rules.
No signs of any kind of advanced structures or industry. Everything points to a late Bronze Age equivalent.
Well, that makes things a lot different.
Monkey.
Lieutenant Velas, can you pull up some of their some of these scans of these humanoids that you took and forward them to Dr. Shirai? Doctor, I want you to do a physiological analysis, if possible, from these readings. Tell us exactly what we're dealing with.
If I may, Captain, it might also behoove us to try to determine if the local life signs have adapted to radiation in any way.
That would also be beneficial. Doctor, you look like you have your work cut out for you.
And I also
Yes, sir.
I also
Uh,
I have something to ping the commander, just as something he would know.
And then, yeah, I will go to sick bay to analyze that stuff because that's where I would do that.
Hang on, guys. I'm getting pinged. This is going to be super duper important.
What's the term I'm looking for?
GM, don't tell him about
All
that.
right. All right, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But first, I want the doctor to do his studies before I order anything concrete.
Her.
Her studies. My bad.
Yep.
So please go
Yeah,
do your
the
studies. And
yes, Commander, I will go do that. And I go to sick bay where the files are sent and do that.
I will say that you don't even have to make a check because the Hadfield has the advanced medical facilities.
I'm so
Okay.
glad we took that. I am so glad we took.
You don't even have to make a check here. From what you can tell, just sort of based on the life readings, I mean, again, these weren't super close-up medical scans. These are the broad scans made by the ship. You'd have to go down to the planet to get the specifics, but it's highly likely that whatever life exists on this planet has probably either adapted to this radiation somehow, or the radiation is benign enough that they never had to adapt in the first place.
I will relay that to the commander.
Very
And
well.
also the fact that I need, if I want any more, I'm going to have to get closer to them.
Very well, Doctor. Can you tell me that if we descended down to the surface of this planet, we will be completely safe from the radiation? Do you think it would affect any of us in any particular way?
I can give us broad spectrum anti-radiation meds, and it should negate whatever effects this radiation causes for at least a short period of time.
Very well. I'm calling a senior staff meeting at the ready room in about 5 minutes. Please make your way up to.
You're ready.
Yes,
Rick.
sir.
Not the ready room, the briefing room.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that.
You gonna go there then? Awesome.
Yes.
I mean, she is a fairly attractive Andorian, but
Mm.
Not in the
my.
ready room yet.
So.
Grennan, move the picture a bit because yeah, there you go.
I don't know what the hell that was about, but
No, you can lock it. Just right click and set it to map overlay. Easy peasy
something's
lemon
funky
squeeze.
with it. There we go.
All right.
That was bizarre. Advanced.
It's fine.
Oh, not the grid, not the grid.
Not the
Anything but the
grid.
grid.
Oh god.
Oh God, my eyes, my eyes.
Oh god. How do I make it go away?
So click on the little cog thing, and there should be a thing that says disable or enable grid.
Oh god.
It's like a tick box.
Make it stop. Whew.
There you go.
Close one.
Simple as that.
Okay. So, yes, you all meet in the conference room, sitting around the table. Good old Star Trek style.
Okay. Computer, please display all of our readings that we have gathered so far on the screen.
Okay, and hang on, let me do.
Affirmative.
Or no,
I love it.
yeah, didn't want it to actually say affirmative, but
Very well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are faced with, well, a unique situation here. This is a Bronze Age civilization which we have just stumbled upon. Now, the rules of the Prime Directive strictly forbid us from interacting with these people in any sort of way. However, the Hadfield is equipped to deal with these sort of situations. So, here's what I have decided. Mr. Suitland, is it Mr.? Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Mr. Suitland, you will be leading the away team of all the senior officers, plus a couple of security officers, down to the surface. Please take every necessary precaution to avoid being spotted by the natives of this planet. Technically, you will be in charge of the away team. However, the doctor, being the most senior one here, has final say.
You
I
see
want
my
you to
face light
conduct
up being given this assignment.
I want you to conduct initial studies of this species and report anything that you find back here on to the bridge. And some free will, I want you to study their means of transportation. See if they have invented the wheel, for instance.
Okay.
These are the things I want to know.
Before you say that, you should know that I wasn't very good at being with people from the last session. So, considering that,
it's
you
alright.
might not want to send me down.
It's alright.
I
I'll
want
keep
to
a
send
short leash on you.
I want to send you down. It's quite all right. So you will,
Okay.
Mr. Suitland will take every necessary precaution to avoid being. Now, I want you to study their transportational system. See if they have invented the wheel. See if they are at least advanced in that sort of area. As for you, Doctor, I want you to study their physiology. Everything you can find out about them, I want to know it, and I want it to be in my ready room. Mr. Suitland, as for you specifically, research, if you can, their preferred types of warfare, if they have any. What types of weapon they're using? Are they using any sort of advanced tactics that we don't know about, or they have invented themselves, perhaps? Those sort of things.
now who's gonna be staying on the ship?
Understood.
I will be staying on the ship.
Mhm.
And finally, last but not least, Lieutenant Wallace, please conduct any sort of scans into their architecture or anything you might find interesting down on the planet which could be of potential use information. Lieutenant Valas,
Understood.
you will assist the doctor and Lieutenant Wallace in any sort of scans they need help with.
Certainly.
Are
Very
we
well.
gonna take a shuttle down?
That is a good question. Lieutenant Wallace, what do you reckon? Is it safe to beam down there?
Actually, give me a second because I have a thing about that.
We could always beam down a biocylinder and see what happens to it.
Also, I would suggest that Mr. Sutland come with one trank rifle. I know they exist in Star Trek.
I think stun phasers will be quite sufficient.
Give me a second.
I don't.
But Mr. Sutland, your word as for security is final. So if you wish to bring a trank rifle along with you, you may feel free to do so.
Let me find our engineer.
It might be easier for
Sir,
them
you're
to.
breaking up a little bit. Would you mind telling me what the argument was for a trank rifle?
Okay, I'm about to give it. I hadn't given it yet. It'll be easier for them to explain away a piercing hole, than it would to explain why their clothing is charred. I'm sure.
I suppose so.
Because even on stun, it's going to leave a char mark.
You have to consider, Doctor, this is if they're wearing clothes at all. We don't know.
Again, the fact of evidence left behind is what I'm worried about, Commander.
That is quite an acceptable, thesis. Mr. Sutland, it's
Wouldn't
your
the
call.
dark? Wouldn't the dark
Frankly,
be an
Commander, the
evidence?
less exotic gear we bring with us, the less of a risk we're going to have.
Yeah, I would be hesitant to leave anything that could leave a chemical trace on the planet. We don't necessarily know how that could affect their physiology.
Exactly.
That's true.
So, you will go out with the standard away team equipment plus equipment necessary for observation of primitive species.
Very well, Commander.
And I must stress this, ladies and gentlemen: caution, caution, and nothing but the utmost caution.
Yeah, the deflectors in the shuttle probably can't I don't believe the deflectors in the shuttle could handle the Clelic radiation very well. It might be better to beam a biocylinder down and just to make sure we're safe to transport.
Very well.
I concur.
I think this concludes our meeting here. Let's return to the bridge and launch that biocylinder and see what we can make of it.
Also, if I could make a suggestion, I'd like all of you to come by sickbay to get anti-radiation doses just in case.
Oh,
Let's
I'll
plug up
be
our
the
thyroids.
first one.
Very well. Everybody back to the bridge. Let's launch that biocylinder.
Hi, Captain.
So my first question for you guys, hang on, is if you guys are going to be going down to do a planetary survey of this race, one of you guys is going to have to just pop by the xenobiology lab and get the equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Presumably-
doctor's probably gonna do that.
Yeah, the
presumably you're
the
gonna
doctor
want-
is chief.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
also-
will
Chief
definitely
in
help the
all
doctor.
matters. All matters not security. The doctor is chief.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
also,
By the way, I have medicine 3 if there needs to be someone else doing medical thing.
And I also have a xenobiology focus.
You guys can handle all that when you get to the ground. Let's launch
Okay.
that biocylinder first.
All right.
I'm trying to explain something to you guys.
Okay.
The thing I'm trying to explain to you guys is that you are gonna. It's not just gonna be enough to have the senior staff down there. You're gonna want to bring some more people.
Of course, I told
Mr.
Mr. Sutland to bring over a security detail, as
But
much as he wants.
In addition to a security.
Okay, so
I'm gonna need a couple more medical staff, is what he's
I'm
saying.
trying to nudge you guys in
or
the
a science
direction.
or a science team. I
Yes,
believe.
I'm
I think.
nudging you guys in the direction of you're gonna need some scientists with you.
Granted, but keep the number of people coming below 50 if you can.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything above 50 drives too much tension towards us.
Oh no. I'm saying you could probably accomplish what you need to do with like 14 people, but
Nonsense.
keep the
We need the
number-
full Moses contingent.
Keep the number below 50, please,
Yeah.
and we're
I'm
good.
sure we can bring a handful of a handful from the science team should be sufficient.
Yes, you are chief when it comes to science. You are allowed to pick your own.
Yeah, go ahead.
so you want to send down a biocylinder to do what? again?
Yes, first things first. a
Just to make sure it's safe to beam down.
Okay. Yes.
I assume there are no chickens available for the task.
So no, you send down a little cylinder with biomatter in it, and then I assume you try to beam it back up.
Yeah, we
Yes.
beam it back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Actually, give me a whoever's going to be doing the beaming up. Give me a control engineering difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's sensors engineering.
That is the engineering at the
Which brings it down to
Lieutenant Walls.
Brings it down to difficulty 2.
So I have a focus, transporters, and replicators. That I accepted.
Yep, absolutely.
Assisted by the computer. Sorry, not the computer. The ship. Did you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to spend momentum for a third dice.
Go ahead, please. So, Grannon, what did you say the computer rolls? Computers engineering?
No, sensors engineering. So
Sensors engineering.
that brings it down to difficulty 2.
Alright. Diggity damn.
So you get
They
your
generate that momentum back.
Nice. So, basically, what I just sent you in Discord is actually answers your question quite nicely.
Captain, I recommend we take pen enhancers down with the away team for ease of use to beaming back to the ship.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it'll be quite difficult.
I understand. Yes, please take all the things you require necessary. Set up a forward outpost, get everything up and running, and then get in touch with the Hadfield once you are operational.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend a self-destruct for those things because they are left behind, right?
Are they?
It's all modular and can be transported back to the ship. Why would you destroy it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
basically, out of character, what you want to bring is those beams that enhance transporters.
Yeah, those pylons. Yeah.
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
things.
Those things come along generally, yeah. So, yeah. You're good.
Mhm.
Very well. Gentlemen, start getting your away teams ready, and beam down when you are also ready.
Okay.
I will task Ensign Biss with beaming them down. I am activating that crew point.
Okay. So who is going to be so who has to get people together?
That will be the petty officer, Suitland.
Mm-hmm. So in that case, you're gonna go around and what kind of people are you gonna grab?
Mr. Suitland.
I'm sorry, what was the question? The audio is breaking up a little bit here.
I think it's your end.
Yeah, it is.
I think the connection's
'Cause
bad.
I
on
had
your
you
end.
cut off.
Yeah, sounds like the connection's really bad on your end.
So
Okay, I
you're
heard
supposed
that
to
also.
gather your crew now. So go ahead and do.
Okay, so we're bringing the doctor, as well as any other people with scientific expertise. Who around here has scientific expertise?
That would be me.
Mm-hmm. So
Oh, sorry, who are you? I don't recognize your voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lieutenant Velas, science officer.
Definitely.
So I guess in that case you're gonna want to go down to the xenobiology department.
Xenobiology. I think also if we have a xenoanthropologist, I think we should have one of them too.
Mm-hmm. So you walk in the room, and there is you walk in the room for the anthropologist, and he's actually poring over the data from the planet, what limited information you guys have. It is a what are they called again? I don't know why I'm blanking. It's not a Vulcan. Damn it! I just had it. I'm feeling stupid. Oh, a Bolian. That's right.
Okay.
It's a male Bolian who's looking over the pad, while behind him there's a human male sort of running around gathering various bits of information, various bits of equipment and things, and trying to gather it all together.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Petty Officer Suitland. The commander's asked me to put together an away team for the surface. Who here's?
Yes. I'm Lieutenant Byro. This is, my assistant. This is Ensign Matthew Landers. He's the one you're really gonna want to talk to about all the little nitty-gritty details. I'm the one who reads the results and interpret what they mean. He's the logistics expert.
Fine by me. Ensign, you're with me.
Huh? He looks up and he's just sort of seems very squirrely, very unsure of himself, like many ensigns you've seen in the past. He says, yes, in fact, sir, if you want, I've started poring over lists of potential beam down spots. I found the largest of the settlements, and I've put together a list of 3 choice candidate spots to set up an observation post.
Now, I assume we're setting up a full duck blind here, as in hollow emitters and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're doing whole 9 yards. So, are you gonna look at the list?
Yeah, I take a quick look at the list. Do you have everything you need? Do you have all your gear?
Yeah, the gear should be no problem. It's just a matter of really, it's just a matter of you all deciding where you want to set down. That'll decide the last couple of pieces that I'm gonna have to bring along. It's all very circumstantial. Depends on what you guys decide. You know? Yeah.
Very well. I'm an empath. Do I pick up anything especially unusual?
He's just seems to be kind of uneasy. He kind of seems just not worried. Worried's not the word. He just seems very very anxious, very unsure of himself. He very much seems like he's the type of ensign that everyone kind of forgets is there. And now
How does that make us enlisted feel?
Yeah, and now he's being useful. So let me pull up the information. So these are the assessments of the different locations. The first number is how many minutes away it is from the main settlement.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to send that to you. I meant to send this. There you go. That's a list of the. That is a list of the potential beam down locations, the attributes of them, and how far away they are from the main settlement.
Okay, I'm reading it over. Let's see, our objectives in this assignment are mainly to observe the local inhabitants, not to just look at the geological makeup of the world and the radiation.
I mean, it's really it's up to you guys how you want to go about investigating these people.
You know what? Kel lives dangerously. Let's set up on the rocky outcropping overlooking the settlement. Let's get a good place set up right within viewing distance, with a good vantage point on the left, and just get it all set up from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's probably where I would have picked too, because you can overlook everything and still be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although, if you want, you might want to tell them the other locations. This is
Okay, I can I go over with the other members of the team. We have 3 sites here. We have a rocky outcropping overlooking the settlement. It's going to be a little bit tricky to set up the observation post without being noticed. Not impossible. I'm sure we can do it. Yeah, but it keeps the settlement within line of sight of the post at all times, so very handy. Also, perfectly easy to transport in and out. Other options are an abandoned ruins about 15 minutes away. It's more secluded, but there are some structures there that may interfere with our transporters. I'd rather not deal with that personally. Finally, a canyon about 20 minutes out from there. It's quite a ways out from the settlement. Easy to beam in and out of. We can get some geological readings, but again, no access to the people we're trying to study.
No, the outcropping would be ideal. I do kind of want to see if we got their pigment color.
That is a no right now.
Okay.
Can we just get some satellite imagery?
This is one of those. You guys will find out when you go down there.
Okay, I'm just going to take a. I guess in D&D terms it'd be a disguise kit, but in Star Trek, I guess just makeup.
Yeah, they have. There's a whole little set of equipment for doing. There's like a whole set of equipment for doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
For doing the prosthetics. That's something the doctor can do planet-side.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to set up for, just because I'm going to need blood samples, so I'm going to need to get up close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So, in that case, let me move us to... You guys are all setting up in... Oh god, not again. The grid. Oh god, the grid.
What's going on this time?
Just the fact that there's a grid. Just hurts.
Just disable that thing, dude.
I wish there was a
It
way-
looks fine, Captain.
I wish there was a way to mass disable the grid.
No, you gotta do that with each individual sheet. That's why you make a singular sheet, then you copy paste that sheet, which doesn't have the grid, and you can use it for...
Handy.
Okay, so you guys are all in the so you guys are set up in a couple of different transporter rooms. I mean, because these are the Hadfield has much smaller transporters, so you guys are gonna have to do it a little bit more carefully, but it's definitely doable.
Cool.
I will definitely beam with the doctor.
Okay, so I assume you guys have all the equipment that you want, right?
Yes.
Alrighty, let me pull it up.
And to be fair, I can't blame you.
Where
She's only 30. She's actually fairly attractive. Long white hair.
Oh, here
I
we
just
go.
can't get over the fucking tentacles. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Here we go.
You mean antenna?
Hang on, here we go.
Damn, I love that song.
And
That sound is so satisfying.
and you guys all materialize. Hang on, gotta do a bunch of moving you guys around. Not the bridge. Not the Starfield. But here we go.
Ooh.
This is the view that you guys see from atop the rocky outcropping. You have to sort of walk yourselves to the edge of it, and there's like a tiny little pile of rocks that you could sort of crouch behind if you had to.
All right, crew, let's get a duck blind up.
All right.
Move out.
Yep.
Okay, so here is the question. Is everyone going to work on setting up the duck blind, or is there going to be other stuff going on in the meantime?
I
I'd like to
mean,
base some operations up first, personally.
Fair enough.
yeah, I was going to set up the medical equipment,
Mm-hmm.
testing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Suitland is in charge of everything security related, so his word is final.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple people just being lookouts to make sure nobody's going to walk in on us while we're setting up our duck blind. Everyone else is setting up the duck blind with me.
Okay, who wants to be the people keeping watch then?
Who's
You know
good at
what?
watching?
I probably would be doing the watching and having medical staff set up the stuff.
This is Insight Security.
I'll be watching as well if the doctor is watching.
Alright, guess I'm setting stuff up then.
Yep, and I'm gonna spend 2 threat to increase the complication range of this task to 3.
Wait,
Okay.
Inside security?
Huh?
Brennan, since this is a new scene, do we lose our momentum?
Yes, it is. I totally forgot.
And
about that.
I'm going to take one, so drop it to 4.
Yep. So first off, this is so.
Okay. Since I'm in charge here, we can use my command staff. I have the advisor talent, which lets me, as anyone who I am assisting, re-roll a d20.
So how I'm gonna have this work is I'm going to have the people do the insight. I'm gonna have the people do the insight security task first, and depending on whether or not they succeed at the task, it will determine how difficult the task is for you guys.
Okay. I'm still spending the momentum for the third dice.
So this will be insight security, difficulty 2,
I can-
complication range 3.
I can do the main roll because I have 10 and
Who has the higher insight security then?
He does by 1 point.
Okay, so free will can lead and you can assist.
and then I will definitely use that extra.
You
Yep,
still
he
you can
gets
still
it
use the
instead of me.
momentum, so you
Yeah.
get 3 dice.
Do I just roll an assistance dice for each of you, one after another?
We'll get to that in a moment.
What's the
Insight security.
yeah, but what's the
Application?
I said 3.
yeah, and how much do I need to? How many success I need?
You need 2. It's difficulty 2.
Yep.
And none of the cultural studies, does that apply as a focus?
I'm gonna say no in this case.
Then no focus.
Okay?
Okay, roll the assist. There you go.
You gain a momentum back. You get that momentum back. So fortunately, you're keeping a close watch eye out. If you, good news, you don't
didn't
see anyone pass by. So the rest of the crew is able to work in more or less, unrestricted. So this is going to be a control engineering task, difficulty 2.
Okay.
And can we allow... wait, the engineer is here, I think, to do this.
Yeah,
If
all
she
senior
wants to.
staff. All senior
Yeah.
staff.
I can assist though.
I can assist as well
Difficult.
if.
I'm gonna spend a momentum for an extra dice.
And I actually am going to spend 2 threat to bring the difficulty up to 3. Or
Okay,
2
we're
threat.
down a moment.
Going up to 3.
Yep.
Okay. And you say control engineering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we assist?
No, because you are keeping a watch.
Okay.
But I was setting up equipment. Can I assist?
This is just to set up the duck blind.
Okay.
Shoot. Just to make sure, let's blow the momentum, but 2 more dice for momentum. 2 more momentum for an extra dice. So up to 4. So that's 3 momentum total.
Okay.
So we go down to
I'll
2
go some more
momentum.
Okay.
I do not have a focus for this. Unless you take EPS power systems
I'm gonna say no.
or fusion reactors.
Nope. Hey, there you go.
And I have cautious engineering. I'm gonna reroll that 0.
Okay, you get a
Nice.
Momentum back?
And I will allow 2 assists for this.
Assist on what?
Didn't people want to assist with this?
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will
Okay,
allow
can you-
2 people to assist.
Cool. What was the complication rating again? 3?
This is just 1.
Okay, cool.
And what do you want us to roll?
Not you, Free Will.
Okay.
You are
You
keeping watch.
You said 2 assists. I only know 1 person there, so that's
Where
why.
am I assisting here
Okay.
as the commander?
Oh.
I'll say you can use command engineering.
Should I be using commander? Should I be using control engineering then?
Yes, you use control engineering or fitness engineering
Control
to,
engineering.
Nice.
to do heavy lifting.
So I'm using command and what now?
Command engineering. Oh my god, you critted. Nice. So that's 2 more momentum.
Hot diggity dog.
Just need 1 success.
Did I get an answer to that question about where I should be rolling?
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I said
control-
command engineering.
You can't roll command engineering. They're both
Or, I'm
disciplines.
sorry, did I say command engineering? Oh, shoot.
Presence
Yes, you did.
command. would have been-
presence engineering. Presence engineering.
I have an engineering score of 1. Since my role is that of a commander, wouldn't the command discipline be more appropriate? As it's a question of organizing people?
I'll allow it.
Because I think he was using the advisor, which is presence command anyway.
Okay, that's fair. And nothing doing. That's okay. You still got you still are at 5 momentum. So it takes you maybe an hour, but yeah, the duck blind turns on, and you are now free to move about a little more freely. The reason you weren't able to set up other equipment till now is because you kind of all had to keep low while the engineering team was setting up the duck blind, but now you can really get to work.
Cool.
Because now you have
All
proximity.
right, let's see what we
sensors
can
up and
see.
everything.
Ensign, stop looking at my ass.
Huh.
I cannot help.
Can we keep the hormones?
What
in
an
check?
entertaining time to be an empath.
Yeah, your emotions are being very distracting right now.
Oh no, you're just getting amusement from her. Just
Oh, but-
straight up amusement.
And
yeah.
and from me, you just feel like fascination, nothing like love or something like that. It's just
Still distracting.
I mean,
So
we're not Vulcans either.
Okay, so you're going to set up a So you're gonna set Doctor. You're gonna set up a station for people to get prosthetics.
Yes. As soon as I get a good visual on what the species on this planet looks like. Yes.
Yep. Alrighty. I'd say you can do that if you just get a pair of binoculars and go over to the duck blind. You could probably start taking a look at the people down in the village.
Okay. Are they wearing like? Are some of them wearing cloaks? And
Give me a moment, and you will see.
okay, cool.
No, God, no.
Oh my god, they're so
There
tall.
appears to be a blue figure wandering towards us on the
No,
screen.
that's
Is this intentional?
that's just what they look like.
Oh. Well, that'll be fairly easy. Don't like the fact that they don't have antenna, but what can you do?
Three-fingered hands will be a bit tricky.
Nah, it's not gonna be that hard.
You are not amputating my hands.
I don't have to.
Yeah, there are some fun tricks you can pull to get around that.
I literally can, like, fuse your fingers together for a short period of time and get the same effect, and then be able to undo it.
Yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
to amputate nothing.
Keep accidentally dragging it. It's the worst.
Okay, and I get a good look at them, kind of snap pictures with the binoculars, and then take it back and put it on one of the screens that I have up, so that I have a guide.
Yep. And some of the small replicators that you look over and you see what's his name? Ensign Landers working at a small replicator fabricating clothing.
Yeah. One other question. Is there only one gender, or?
They would appear to be fairly androgynous.
Low
Okay.
sexual dimorphism.
Very low.
That's
There is some, but not much.
okay. Got it. That was an important thing, as you know, at least two of us are female, so that would be needed to know. Okay. Then I will start with the changing people's faces.
How many people are going to go down to the settlement?
Probably Velas, Sutlin, and Free Will, since he can't stop following me around like a lost puppy.
We should probably bring our anthropologist too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the anthropologist.
Yeah. And Ensign Landers quickly nods, looks over to you, and says, "Understood."
What's he feeling like right now?
Again, anxious.
Okay.
Very anxious. Kind of unsure of himself.
Ensign, if I can be frank with you, your anxiety is unfounded. This is a routine. This is a routine survey.
Right, but I mean, this is my first one.
You'll do fine. You've been prepared for this. There's no reason for you to. There's no reason for you to be so nervous. You've prepared for this at the academy.
Yeah.
You're an officer, Landers. Buck up.
Yep. He runs a hand through his blonde hair, and just nods. Okay. I can do this. I can do this.
See, you
All
did
right.
go to college.
Now, Ensign, get over here so I can fix up your prosthetics real quick.
Of course. Give me a control medicine difficulty 2.
Can I assist?
I'm gonna
Nope.
say no
I'm
because
good.
the doctor is the one doing it all.
Can I assist as medicine 3?
I can give her tools.
Hang on. No, I'm gonna say that this is just the doctor doing it because this is just the doctor applying your prosthetics.
Yeah. Although Sutlin will have to apply mine, probably.
Yes, but that'll be a lower difficulty check, and I will let you.
Because I'm already blue.
Mhm. Yes.
Alright. Let's see, what do I got? I'm going to spend a momentum for a dice. Can I use an argument for composure as a
No.
focus?
I'm gonna say no. Nice try, but no.
Like steady hands? No? Okay.
No, I'd let that fly for something like surgery.
Well, I have surgery as a focus.
Yes.
Alright, okay, here we go.
Ooh.
I'm gonna re-roll at least one of those, even though it's probably not gonna matter. Yep.
You did it. There you go. I said it was difficulty 2, right?
Yeah.
So you got it.
Awesome.
Within another half hour, everyone is looking like these people.
Alright, and I will sit down in the chair and go, Mr. Sutland, if you don't mind, just please mind the antenna.
That'll be control medicine difficulty 1.
All right, can the doctor assist me in this task as I'm trying to do this to him? Also, he's the doctor.
She can
Her.
she can assist with presence medicine.
It's better than
Okay,
nothing.
control medicine.
What's your control medicine?
Controls 10, medicines 3.
Oh, I have control 11 medicine too.
Same thing then.
Alright, go ahead. And I will roll the assist.
What do I need to roll for this?
Just one. Not one. It's control medicine. It's control medicine difficulty 1.
Spend
Ouch.
2 for...
Oh, for frick's sake. Sorry about those antennae, boss.
So here's the here's the question: do you want to spend 2 momentum, or do you want me to gain 2 threat?
Yeah, just spin the momentum.
And you get one of those
up to you.
momentum back anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's only a net loss of 1.
It's very difficult to get around the antenna problem, but you managed to come up with a very clever solution. You find by looking at the people, there are a couple of hairstyles that, when replicated, just completely cover up the antenna.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah, it's a little hard to not have it put you off balance, but it'll do. It'll do for short 2-hour jaunts.
Yeah. Alright. So, shall we go join the natives, more or less?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I
agree.
create a plan so as to take advantage of my plan of action talent?
Sure, go ahead.
What does that do?
Basically, whenever we... let's see. When an ally succeeds at a task that was made possible or had reduced difficulty because of an advantage created by that character, if the advantage represented a plan or strategy, they generate 2 bonus momentum.
You'd have to create an advantage for that, and you'd have to sell me on it. And you'd have to, like, tell me what that advantage does.
I'd like to create an advantage by seeing if we can get any kind of advance information on what their social customs are, if we can just observe some basic interactions between members of this species. See how they say, hi, how are you doing? You know, how's things, how's the lifestyle?
That stuff is things you'd have to go down there for.
No long-range microphones at all.
Well, what we do know is that they seem to be clustered in these small villages. So, I mean, we probably should at the very least claim we're travelers.
Very well, but there's no way that we can just set up a shotgun microphone, so to speak, and just listen in on a few conversations.
I'm gonna say no for partially the reason that I just want to keep you guys moving.
Okay, off we go.
If you guys are getting mired in the little details.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. All right. Here we go. Let's not
We're
mess
off to
this
see the
up.
wizard.
Yep, let's not mess this up.
Because.
Okay, so before we have you guys go down to the village, is there anything that the rest of you would like to do?
If there's any science people being left behind, I want them to start taking soil samples and vegetation samples.
Okay, they can do that. They can totally do that.
Yeah, I only took what's his name with me, and
Free.
no,
Wallace?
no, the new guy, the nervous guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Landers.
yeah, him. He's coming. So you still have, and Sutlin and a couple. I believe I said a couple security.
Yeah,
just
so
in case.
Yeah, so we should definitely have science people on the site to do
Yeah.
the normal like geosurvey stuff.
Well, I thought he was going down with you to the village.
Wallace is. The rest of the science team is staying behind, I think.
No, wait, I thought you wanted him to go with you to the village.
Right, but do we have other science people on site?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, Wallace is definitely coming with us. He's the anthropologist, so
Landers, or yeah.
right, Landers. Sorry.
Landers is going down with you guys. So,
Am I going down as well, right?
Yeah, free will is coming with us.
so so yeah, you guys. Oh, hang on. Oh, I totally forgot about this stuff. Give me a moment. Totally forgot some of these things that I wanted to have.
I think.
Hang on.
I don't know if Wallace has any plans, but like radiation samples would be nice and neat.
Give me a moment. I just gotta make sure I've got a couple things. Here it
Wallace is pretty much supposed to investigate the
Architecture, that's right.
architecture of.
That music.
Real quick, because I know we got a little bit sidetracked, but Wallace is also going to double check the hollow emitters before heading out.
Yep, they're
Make sure they're running at peak performance.
Yep, they're functioning at peak performance. The Clelic radiation does not seem to be affecting them in the slightest. So you walk down along this little path into the town. You walk past this nice little oasis, and past these trees that, on closer inspection, they look like they could be palm trees. But the way they're flanged is just a little too odd, a little too alien to be earth palm trees. And you just sort of walk through into this little bazaar where there are people bustling and talking all around, and people seem to be pretty excited.
Empath.
Yeah, as you just sort of get this general din of excitement. Today is an exciting day.
Is there anything special happening?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I've been, like, trying to catch snippets of their language to see if I can, yeah.
Yeah, can we tell if the universal translator is working?
After maybe it takes you a bit because you're not having a straight up conversation with any of these guys so far, so it takes maybe about 20 seconds for the universal translators to really kick in. But then you start hearing snippets of conversation as the universal translator really starts to pick up the nuances of the language. 3 clicks for the sword, and no, I don't think I can afford that. You walk past another group. Oh, these are the finest that I've got. Finest. All for the festival today. Oh, I wonder who will be chosen. Will he finally come? I don't know. What do you think? Just sort of as you're walking through, you're picking up these little snippets of conversation.
Can you tell the gender of the species, like if they are males and
They're
females or
just
something?
no, they're androgynous. That's I already asked that.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, okay.
There's a little bit of dimorphism, but it's very slight.
Are they bartering or are they using currency?
It sounds like currency.
Yeah, they appear to be using some kind of currency. Little little chips of wood, by the looks of things.
And I kind of note that they seem to be like, early Bronze Age weaponry, swords and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking notes, not
Exactly.
trying to take away from anybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any fruits on the market?
A couple, but not really. Looks like these guys probably haven't totally cracked irrigation yet.
Is there any stand that is like selling a lot of things? Like people are like going there, going crazy?
No one stands more than the other. I mean, there are maybe a couple more people at this stand that are selling these nicely woven little banners that are on the ends of sticks. But they're not like poorly made. These are like intricately woven type banners.
Are how many types are a lot of type of banners, or like most of them look the same?
I mean, there are a few variations, maybe 3 or 4 different variations of the banner, but you don't know what they mean. You don't know what the patterns on them symbolize.
Yeah, no, the question is that if somebody is competing or something like that, I mean, are they selling the banner for those type of people? Like how many types are there? That's my question.
I don't get what you're asking.
So basically, if there's a tournament or something like that, there will be like more factions joining the tournament, and it would be banner for each faction,
Well, as
or
I said, you don't know what these banners are for.
I turn to our anthropologist and say, "Hey, do you think we should just ask about the festival?"
I suppose it couldn't hurt. And he walks over to a man standing before a pedestal. And it's actually there's nothing on it. He says, "Excuse me, sir. You wouldn't happen to be able to tell me about the festival?" He said, "Well, what kind of Kanak are you? We all, how do you not know about the festival? It's the same every year." Weirdo. You from out of town
I'll
or
walk up.
something?
Sorry, I walk up behind him and be like, "I'm sorry, he's hit his head recently. We're trying to reteach him. He lost his memory."
Presence command, difficulty 2.
Okay. Can I use doctor's orders for this and use my medicine skill instead?
Yes, you can.
Alright, and composure is a focus since I am lying through my teeth.
I will allow that.
Okay, and 1 momentum for a 3rd dice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have cautious medicine.
Nice. That is a nice cocktail of skills and talents. Jesus H. Christ.
ouch. What was the difficulty?
2.
Guess you don't need my help.
I'm sorry.
I just sort of sit back and watch.
Okay, free will. You can discard your momentum because I'm here. I'm paying attention.
And he leans forward and says, "Well, today's the day when we find out who the king among the heavens is. You know the king among the heavens. He'll come down and lead our people into a new age. We've been waiting for the cycle ever since good old King Hollands died. About, how long has it been? 4 years now? The council's been holding us together well enough, but we need a new king among the heavens.
Veloz is gonna communicate telepathically to Suitland, because we're both empaths, we can do that. Just to indicate that this appears to be some kind of a religious observance.
Well, thank you for the history lesson. I appreciate it. They appreciate it, and I appreciate your taking the time to help us in this matter. And I lead Landers off.
Okay, so is there anything else specific that you want to do before you just go into wandering around the town mode?
I guess I say, hello, I'm a traveler from a faraway place. I'd like to know the name of this land. The name of your people. It's just some basic background information for a traveler from far away, if you don't mind.
The name of our we are all Canucks. We are all brothers. We are all one with our people. And I'm surprised, if you are a traveler, I'm surprised that you didn't know the name of this place when you arrived. The great Canuck capital is well known among the various other tribes.
Yeah, and they got that way by traveling. We just started. Now we're traveling, soon we'll know. Thanks for your help.
And he nods. As he goes back to peddling some odd cooked meats to the people sitting outside his stand.
Can I try to discreetly get some tricorder readings to see if I can determine anything about their physiology, anatomy?
Okay, control security difficulty 1 first to see whether or not you can sneak the readings.
And I would like to go to the banner stand and talk with the guy, maybe find out what's all about the banners.
These banners here tell of the capital's luscious history. Every capital has them. How don't you know this?
It tells of the luscious every cat. I couldn't have heard that right.
The luscious history of our people.
Quick question for that control security task. Does my composure focus apply?
I will say yes. Okay, yeah, you can make a tricorder reading. What are you trying to pick up?
Just any deep readings I can get on their physiology, anatomy, any interactions with the radiation.
Insight medicine difficulty 2. Because you're not doing this in a sterile environment. You're doing this out on the street.
Sure. Does my xenobiology focus apply?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's gonna be a no then.
That's gonna be a no. I will give you the information to clarify from before. It would appear that this species doesn't have any kind of naturally evolved resistance to the radiation. It would appear that the radiation is just benign enough that it doesn't do anything to them.
Got it.
And I will answer to the guy with the banners. I know about the banners. I'm seeing some new ones around here.
New ones?
Like the ones that I never saw before.
Ah, yes. Well, that's gonna be the banner of the new, what was the word I used before?
King under the heavens.
King among the heavens. That's gonna be for the new king among the heavens whenever they decide to show up.
Now, who is the new king under the heavens going to be?
We don't know. The sky will tell us.
How will the sky tell you?
He looks around, he looks up, he says, "Oh, just you wait. Should be any time now."
You said this tapestry explained the history of your people. You know, my brother's in the tapestry business. I'd be really curious to how this tapestry was made, what message it's...
Well,
You know, when I finish my travels, I think I'm going to tell my brother, see if we can have a tapestry made about this place.
well, I mean, tapestries already exist of our great capital in all the other major cities. We have, and he reaches below his desk and he pulls out a small pile of other tapestries that look nothing like the tapestries that you guys have, that you guys see in the stall. And he says, "See, these are tapestries from all the other great capitals of the Canuck.
I'm sorry, all the other great whats of Canuck?
Capitals."
Those are the ones that I've been talking about.
Oh, okay. You must have seen someone walking around with some of the other capitals. Some of the other capitals. Great. Yeah. People sometimes like to travel for. People sometimes like to travel when the heavens chooses. But I mean, it's especially when it's such a big city as ours, and been such a long time since we've last had a king from among the heavens. This is
I just nod, like I'm agreeing to him.
So anything else you guys want to do before you just wander around for a bit?
I say this is my first time ascending, attending an appointment of a new king among the heavens. Where do you recommend is a good place to watch the act?
Oh, anywhere. Trust me, he nudges you. You won't be able to miss it.
Glad to hear it.
So, anything else, you guys?
No, the doctor's already started wandering.
Okay.
Do they have any like a locomotion thing, like carts or something like that?
Yeah, you see some carts around. It appears that they've figured out the wheel. And in fact, judging by their development of the wheel, they developed the wheel a while ago. Maybe even
Do they have like some sort of like animals or something like that that are carrying that?
Yeah, you see a couple beasts of burden, probably about the size of a donkey, but they're a bit thicker, and they don't have hooves. They just have big, massive paws and these big horns.
And are they
And are they what?
transporting only goods or people as well?
Well, you don't see any transporting people right now, but there are carts that are certainly big enough to do the job. If you had a team of maybe 3 or 4 of these in one of those carts, yeah, you could probably drag around people.
Okay.
Yeah, as the doctor's walking around, she's kind of... It would look to outside people that she's talking to herself, but she's kind of like recording, like, these seem to be an agrarian type of people and yada yada, doctor stuff, as she's wandering.
Yep, and as you can see, as unlike before, Landers seems to be having the time of his life now. He seems to be totally into this.
See, I told you you could do this. This is what you trained for.
That is. So, at this point, actually, I would like to cut up to... Where are you?
That is the bridge of the Kismet.
We are,
Okay.
we are back aboard the bridge of the Hatfield. And yes, I know the soundtrack says Kismet Bridge, but it's all the same.
All right.
So, you are on board the bridge of the Kismet. Commander, is there anything you want to do before I move things forward?
Not in particular. I'd like to just, once the base team has set up, I just want to know if I've gotten any confirmation that they're a.
Yeah,
Well,
you get a confirmation from them. You get confirmation from them after maybe an hour 10 that they've set up, and then about 40 minutes later, you get word that they're striking out to check out the city. So you've probably been sitting up here in orbit for maybe 3 hours now.
Well, can't watch funny cat videos on the bridge, so yeah, let's just skip time.
Okay. So, who do you have at ops? Just I assume one of the support.
Yeah, as one of the support characters. Chief Watch Officer Bisbee and Ensign Biss are with me on the bridge.
And he looks down at the terminal and says, "Captain, I am detecting strange solar activity from the planet Star."
Elaborate, and Watch Officer Bisbee.
It would appear that the star has begun to eject a large amount of solar mass. I can put it on the screen if you wish.
On screen, please.
And you see the star on the screen. It's a bit far out, so he zooms it in for you. You do the whole, zoom by 400, what have you. And you see the star surrounded by this little corona of empty space, because the rest of the system is sort of in this slight bluish haze because of the radiation, but there's just this clear sphere around the star, and it zooms in on a little portion of the star, and you see a solar flare shoot out, reach across the space, the empty space, and the moment it touches the rim of the radiation, the screen flashes white.
Are we unconscious?
No, you are not. It goes,
Okay. How long does the flash last for? Can we see it again?
It is like half a second. Captain, I'm detecting a large wave emanating from the star.
Large wave of what, Mr. Bisbee?
Unknown at the time, strange energy source. The Klelic radiation seems to be obscuring the sensors, and the Klelic radiation seems to be having some kind of a reaction to the solar flare.
God damn it. Can we get visual on it, Mr. Bisbee?
Yes, sir. And you can see that now this light bluish is, the light blue of the star is now a brilliant purple.
Purple.
Fine.
Okay.
Hang on, I think I've got a thing for you. Where is it? I just had it. God damn it. I keep misplacing things. Oh, here it is. So you see this wave of purple that seems to be spreading out from the star in your direction. Bisbee looks up at you, says, "If I'm getting these numbers correct, Commander, we have about 10 minutes.
10 minutes before what, Mr. Bisbee?
Before the wave reaches us, I'll see what I can do from my end to shield the Hadfield."
What about the planet, Mr. Bisbee?
Do you want my suggestion, Commander?
Yes, please.
I would suggest we evacuate.
But what about the people on the planet?
Which people are you referring to?
The natives, Mr. Bisbee.
I'm afraid nothing can be done for them. As you know, we are not allowed to interfere.
Oh god, I'm being hit by a very big moral dilemma. Mr. Bisbee, prepare the Hadfield, give the Hadfield necessary protection, Ensign Biss, respond.
Ensign what?
Ensign Biss, the engineer.
Oh, yes, sir.
Ensign Biss, I know it's not our place to interfere, but I want you to start working on a countermeasure to protect this whole planet that we're surveying from this energy wave. You have about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? I don't think I could pull something together in that time. It's gonna take everything I've got just to handle the transporters.
Mr. Bisbee, is there any way we can use the Hadfield as a shield for the planet?
Not while shielding ourselves, sir.
Do you think we could extend the shield from the Hadfield around the planet?
And this is the point I'm gonna give myself a threat.
Yeah. And no.
So, are you gonna call the planet and let them know what's going on?
Yes. Commander Jacoby to Mr. Sutland. Mr. Sutland, come in.
I read you, Commander.
Mr. Sutland, the situation is dire. An energy wave has just begun to materialize itself out of the star which we surveyed earlier, and this energy wave will most certainly destroy everything on this planet, including all life signs.
You don't know
I
that.
hope
Please
you were
confirm, Commander.
private.
You
Be
do-
advised that some of the locals have been telling us they've been anticipating a kind of a light show in the sky. I get the sense they've had this before.
Have they faced certain annihilation before?
Commander, let me clarify to you. You have no idea
Alright.
what this thing is gonna do.
Okay, but Mr. Bisbee told me to evacuate everything. Okay.
Commander, if you need to evacuate us, I can have us back at the duck blind in about 15 minutes.
Mr. Sutland, you have 10.
At this point, 8, because you wasted some time.
Mr. Sutland, you have less than 10 minutes. Post haste, if you please.
Understood. I'll gather my. All right, everybody, on me.
What?
Everyone's gathering around, I presume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Commander's ordered us to evacuate. There's some kind of solar flare going on. Going back to the duck blind now. Double.
Are you gonna call ahead to the duck blind and tell them to start evacuating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And Mr. Bisbee, take the necessary precautions to shield the Hadfield from the solar flare. If you
So are you gonna spend a point to let him start doing that?
yes,
Alrighty. So you have him for the scene. That means he can do a control science check. This is gonna be a difficulty 3.
Okay.
Or actually, I'm sorry, reason science difficulty 2 to figure out how to shield the ship. Can he spend a momentum?
reason science difficulty 3. Sure, I'll spend the momentum. There
No,
you
it's only
go.
difficulty 2, but it's
I'll spend the momentum.
We heard the transmission, right?
yes.
Yes,
So
everybody heard.
you guys know they'll start beaming you out as soon as.
Damn.
There you go. That's you.
I generate.
2 momentum. Nice.
Bless you, Ensign Bisbee.
While we are going towards
hang
the
on, only one of.
site.
Hang on, that 2 should only be a 1. You had a focus selected when there is no applicable focus to this situation. Unless you want to give him
Dang. No. So yeah, it should be only a 1. So we generate 1.
one. That's fine. You still get your momentum back. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
He said, all right, if I'm reading this correctly, phased Braylene pulse from the deflector dish should form a protective barrier around the ship. It wouldn't be like our shields, and so we could beam the observation team through it.
Very well. Please get to work on that. Ensign Biss, get to work as soon as the away team is ready. Beam.
Understood. So you're gonna spend another point for Biss?
Yes, another point for Biss.
Okay, this is going to be because you have the pattern enhancers and everything set up, and because of the location you chose, this is only going to be difficulty 1.
Okay, what's it gonna be?
Control security assisted by the ship's sensor. Or sorry, control engineering assisted by the ship's sensors engineering.
Okay, so here goes his. Okay, and the ship's sensors engineering. Sensors engineering. Hey, so we generate 2 more momentum. God dang.
So I'll say that that takes care of everyone who is currently at the duck blind.
While we are going towards the site, I'll ask the Lieutenant Vlos if it's possible to make like a shield for us if we don't get there in time.
So hang on. Here's what we got to do. So all of you have to make a fitness security difficulty 1 roll.
Even me?
No. Everyone who is currently not at the duck blind.
Okay.
And I am also rolling. I will also roll for Matthew Landers. Ah, that's what I like to see. Oh, that's what I like to see. Well, I say with all those extra successes, I will negate that complication.
That is good indeed.
The doctor sees him trip and picks him up as she runs.
Yeah, I'll say with all that extra momentum you got, you can account for the fact that he's stumbling. He seems very out of breath.
And I think your role was for
Uh,
the other guy.
Hang on.
Who are you rolling for, Grennan?
I rolled for him. I rolled
For Landers.
I rolled for Landers.
Yeah, can I see Landers getting down and try to help him?
You're not there anymore. Oh no, you were with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said well, the doctor already did that. So, yeah.
No, I picked up Velas.
Oh, okay.
I just glance at them and gesture for them to keep moving.
Actually, no. I know exactly what I'm gonna have happen here. So, you all get back to the duck blind, and as you get in your position on the, you have maybe 10, 30, 20, 30 seconds before this thing hits. And as you turn around, you see Landers running to make his place in the, within the pattern enhancers.
Is he gonna make it without help or no?
So now what we're gonna do is time for the last roll for Biss. Biss is gonna make a control engineering difficulty 3 roll.
But is that guy gonna make it?
Yeah, we were trying to see if Landers was gonna make it.
Well, this is the roll that's gonna determine it.
If he's not gonna make it, I'm gonna go help him.
I'm telling you, this is the roll. This is
Okay.
this is what is gonna decide it. So control engineering difficulty. So are you gonna spend any momentum?
You may. I'm giving you guys free. Oh, take a momentum, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 3 dice, control engineering. So it's going to be brought down to difficulty 2 by the ship. So that makes it. So see if the ship generates you any momentum with sensors engineering.
Got it. Sensors, engineering. Bloop. Oh,
That's what I wanted.
Can we use two momentum?
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm gonna say in this instance, I'm gonna spend 2 threat anyway and say no.
okay.
So, you all manage. So he manages to scramble to the the pad and is just in there as the transporter effect starts to flicker over you. And just as he makes it in, you see him stumble, and he goes barreling right towards the other side of the enhancers. And where is it? You are back in, no, not the sick bay, the transporter room. You all look around. Ensign Landers is not with you. The whole ship shakes. And that is the end of this scene.
I'm discarding a momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good that it probably faded because the doctor slammed the side of the Andorian temper.
So after maybe about 30 seconds or so, Captain, you on the bridge see this field of energy go up around the ship. You see Bisbee tapping furiously away, and he says, "The pulse is holding, sir." And you see everything in front of you become a blur. The planet begins to blur. And everything around you begins to feel heavy.
Okay, is everybody back on the bridge now with me?
No, this is mere moments after.
Uh-huh,
This is
okay. So I just see blurriness.
outside the window, you see this purple, and you see sort of a vague brownish tan haze that's probably the planet.
I'm assuming, Mr. Bisbee, that this is the energy wave that we have anticipated.
Indeed, the sensors are being overloaded. I'll have to make sense of what's going on later, but it
Shut
looks...
down everything except mandatory life support right now. I don't want any of our systems failing.
It looks like the effect should fade in about 2 minutes.
Oh, very well then.
We seem to be holding.
Excellent. Any predictions as to what will happen once this passes?
Not a bit, sir. As I've said, our sensors are very much in the dark here. All I've managed to find is the wave back of this front.
Okay, so I'll sit back down in my chair, straighten my shirt. Well, guess we just have to wait.
So after a few seconds, like maybe 30 seconds later, the turbolift doors open, and there are the members of the senior staff who are in the observation crew.
Gentlemen and ladies, welcome back. Take your posts. We are experiencing something quite different here.
Yeah. I should probably report we lost Landers, sir.
That is...
I was just about to ask, did he appear in any of the other transporter rooms on this ship?
No, we did not.
We will discuss this at a later date. Right now, I think there's quite more important things going on.
Yes, sir.
And at that, the energy wave dissipates, and you see the planet again.
Okay, Lieutenant Velas, give me a scan for life signs, please.
Of course, Captain.
That is Reason Science, difficulty 0, assisted by the ship's sensor science.
Yeah, so roll it because momentum always good.
Not bad.
Oh,
Jesus.
All
we
right, I like
generate
that.
4 momentum.
Mhm.
Jesus.
So you're now at full. So you have 2
I look
bonus that are gonna.
impatiently at for some kind of new.
So yeah, the answer to that question is yeah, life signs. You got life signs, and they're more or less the same as before.
Captain, there's been no change to the life signs on the planet,
More or less.
more or less. Nominal at
Mr.
best.
Mr.
Is
Suitland.
our ensign still there, more or less?
I will take your free question and give you this as your answer. Where are you, Halas?
I'm not picking up the ensign's comm badge, sir.
That is disturbing, but then again, if he is alive, it might have just been the surge, this energy wave messing with the comm badge.
Agreed.
In any
I-
case, Mr. Suitland, you said that they were expecting some kind of light show down there.
Oh,
Yes, sir. I was talking to one of the locals. They were mentioning expecting some kind of apparition in the sky, which they said would determine somehow who would be their king. King in the sky, I think was the term.
King among the heavens.
King among the
By
heavens, correction.
by, you all still look like the aliens.
Yeah. Okay.
It seems like it was some
Whoever
sort of-
responds.
Well, the way they could tell it was me is I've let my hair down since the transporter room so that my antennae are out.
Okay.
It seemed like it was some sort of a religious observation. It could be possible that this phenomenon interacts with the radiation in the system, perhaps in a predictable time frame.
Either way, Commander, I think we ought to beam right back down there and see what's going on.
That is quite the good idea, Mr. Sutland. Please take the squad which you have brought back and bring them right back. Utmost caution, I must remind you. We have just dodged a very narrow, well, whatever the goddamn hell this was.
So are you
All right.
going
On
to-
my way out, I point over to the ops officer and say, Velas, would you please keep us informed of what you see up here? I want to see if there's anything else appearing on sensors that may affect our mission down there.
So is Volas going to stay here on the bridge then?
If I'm being ordered to, I will. His preference probably would be to make sure that everything's okay on the surface. But if I'm more valuable on the bridge, I would stay.
So that's going to be then Wallace, Sharon, Freewill, and Sutland. Yes. We're gonna go back down to the planet
Yeah.
surface. Where are you gonna beam down? You gonna beam down to the same place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's beam down to the place where the enhancers are and then walk.
Okay. Well, you walk into the transporter room, and Ensign Biss is looking very perplexed at the transporter screen. He says, "That's odd. I'm not picking up the enhancers."
What about the enhancers?
The enhancers aren't there. Looks like some structure is there.
Sorry, clarify. Are you saying the enhancers have moved, or are you saying the enhancers have disappeared?
They're not there. If that's what you're asking.
Do you see them anywhere else?
Nowhere nearby.
Oh, by the way, are we talking about a sensor reading, or is somebody beaming down to the location and upon arrival seeing that there are no pattern enhancers there?
No, it is the transporter operator trying to get a lock on the enhancers and saying, there are no enhancers there, but there's like a building there.
Okay, how about you find us some kind of secluded spot near where the enhancers were and see if you can beam us down.
That I can do.
Good man, let's go.
Okay. You guys get on the transporter pad and...
I put my hair back up.
Oh, I quickly radio the commander on the way out saying, apparently our chatter enhancers have disappeared and sensors are reading some kind of a building down there. We're going to investigate.
Mhm.
Worrisome.
Okay,
Quite
so,
worrisome.
so you beam down and gone. Do-do-do. So you're back on this whole bluff thing, only standing in the general area of where you guys used to have that duck blind, there now sits a small building. Generally, just it seems to be the same make as the villagers building. If I assume, are you guys any of you gonna look down towards that village?
I'm going to look all around me for anything unusual, especially for pattern enhancers or people. I'm also going to have my empathic sense on high alert to see if there are any people around me and if they're feeling anything that's going to catch my attention.
That's a lot. That is a lot. I'm gonna do that one at a time. So,
Quick visual inspection. Anyone around us? Did anyone see us beam down?
none that you can see.
Okay, quick visual inspection. Any non-native technology that we brought down there that is...
You don't see any non-native technology in your immediate vicinity. Looking around, you actually see down at the village, you actually see that now there's a river flowing through the middle of the village. And the buildings appear to be a little bit more built up, a little bit more spread out.
Can we check if the age of the area around has changed?
I mean, how are you gonna check for that?
Like
Can I?
with the
Carbon
tricorder, if the Earth aged, to say like that,
Well, no,
or if the trees aged.
Wallace would know.
I-
She's been keeping track.
I could. Well, oh, you assume my character's gender. That's hilarious.
I mean,
But-
Sky, yeah, but yeah.
It's actually has a neutral name, but whatever.
Eh.
Anyhow, the building that was constructed here, we could do a metallurgy test when the actual.
So you're gonna go and check out the building?
At least
can
do
we
a
spend,
scan.
perhaps we should spend a momentum and bring down a mass spectrometer to get a really detailed scan of this material.
I will allow that.
Yeah, since, we gotta go back to 5, so there you go, because we had extra.
Mm-hmm. So, are any of you going to examine this building?
The doctor is,
Okay.
yeah.
So you walk around
I'll
it, and
assist if needed.
hang on, let me talk. It is a building that seems to be of a similar make to the buildings of the village, only this one has a bit more stone to it. It's and a little less wood. It's clear that a lot of time and effort went into building this particular building. And as you walk around the corner, you actually see that it's not like a home or anything. It just sort of has this big open stone arch to it that leads inside. And I assume you're gonna go in and check it out?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's curious now.
So you walk in and you don't see anyone. There's no one in here. But the incense and burning torches indicate that this place is certainly not abandoned. This is a place that people certainly come to. And you see right back at the back end of the building is something, is a big pedestal on which it stands a statue. A statue of Landers.
Oh god. Yeah.
And
Saw that one coming.
And
A
beneath,
Yeah,
statue
me
of what?
too.
and beneath it a placard. The King Among the Heavens.
Sorry, I heard the phrase "a statue of Ned Flanders." What
No.
did you actually say?
No, Landers.
I
Instant Landers.
Aliens.
Okay, you hear
Badger
you hear Suitland saying, "Oh, for fuck's sake." Su- Anybody with a tricorder, can you pick up any human life signs around here?
Yeah, medical tricorder out.
Reason
Looking.
science.
Or
Reason science.
or half human.
Reason science or medicine. Difficulty 2.
Can I
Alright.
check the age of the
Genetics?
statue?
Can genetics as a focus?
I'll allow it this once.
Okay, spinning a momentum for an extra dice. Gonna re-roll that 0 and hopefully get something better. Nope, but 2 is fine.
Yes, you are picking up a human life sign down in the village.
He's in town.
Okay, team, let's go extract the king.
Can I still check the age of the statue? Like how much time is built
Sure.
or something?
Sure, you can do that.
I want to confirm we've
Okay.
been gone for maybe 15, 20 minutes or less.
That is correct.
Yes.
What do you want me to roll?
Reason, science, or engineering difficulty 2.
What's the difficulty?
2.
Yeah, nothing.
Did you not get it? Or no. You didn't roll enough. So, no, you can't really tell. I mean, you could tell how old the material it's made out of is, on the order of billions of years old. It's metal. But I mean, you don't know how long ago this particular statue was carved.
If we're going to extract him, we need to do this as delicately as possible. Because we may already be messing too much by extracting him in the first place.
The question is, how do we mitigate the cultural contamination? Clearly, something has gone really wrong here, but we have to calculate all of our interventions to make the cultural contamination, less rather than more.
Well, the thing
I mean-
about it is, to build a structure like this, we haven't been gone long enough for a structure like this to be built. So obviously something has happened.
Yeah. Obviously, my best speculative guess at this point is some kind of alien third party.
Or the time just passed really fast.
Well, let's get some answers, team.
So,
And I
So if
think
there's
we are heading
other
to
than just gathering some sensor readings and records of just what we see up here, I just gather my team, and we head back towards the.
okay, so you walk in. Let me you find it. So yeah, you walk into the village, and yeah, you see people walking around, just sort of in a far less ecstatic manner than before.
Empath.
I mean, they're just going about their daily grind. This is the last time.
Is still a market here?
Yeah, there's still a market here and everything. It's just the last time you saw them, it was the day of a big festival. Today,
Are
it's
there
just-
fruits?
Yes.
Are there like fruit stands?
Yeah, there are a couple fruit stands.
Actually, how does the inventory look compared to the last time? I want to look.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
see this as a proxy measure of how long we've been gone. If time has gone artificially fast, we should be looking at a different set of items in inventory.
Yeah, as I said, there are a couple fruit stands now. That stand with all the banners and everything. There is now a 5th banner.
Does it look to the same banner that guy showed us about the new king?
That is correct.
Does it has the ensign's face on it?
it doesn't have a face or anything. It just has its own design. It's the same design.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
go seek out that merchant I was talking to earlier.
Which one?
The one who I was saying that my brother was in the tapestry business, I'm a traveler, all that.
Okay, yeah, it's that same tapestry guy.
Does he look different?
Yeah, he looks a bit stouter, a bit gruffer. Said,
I approach him. I say, hello, my friend. It's good to see you again.
again, do
Tell
I
me
know
how
you?
things been since we were last.
When was the last time I saw you? I don't know. I get a lot of travelers through the capital here, so you're gonna have to jog my noggin a bit.
I get there and I say like when the new king came.
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh.
Landers has been keeping a good eye on us for 7 cycles or so. He's done wonders.
No, I really would like to get an audience with this High King Landers. How do we do that?
And he just
Pay homage.
And he just laughs. A bunch of outsiders getting an audience with Landers, the king among the heavens. Oh, that's rich. Oh,
Well, yeah, it'd be a good addition to my travel log.
But I wouldn't give to have an audience with Landers.
If I tell you that we are friends, would you believe us?
No.
Seriously, he was actually here the last time we were visiting.
Really?
By the way, the doctor has the engineer and and the engineer with her, and is trying to find like guards.
Yeah,
And
you managed to find some of these Canuck who are wearing slightly thicker clothing, hide armor.
And I will walk up to them and say, yes, I've been summoned by the High King as a physician. This is my assistant. We would like very much to speak with the king, if possible, before I start my duties as his physician.
I don't think the king was expecting any physician. What's your name?
And I would Amara. My name is Amara. Amara Shran.
Shron, okay.
Yes.
I'll send the note up the line to see what we get, but I wouldn't hold your breath. And he
That's fine.
And he whispers to the person next to him, and that guard goes running off.
Yeah, and I kind of like do a preliminary like scan of his physique and be like, how is that joint pain treating you? Just to like prove my skills.
He says, "Well, it's out." Hey. So, do any of you guys have anything else you want to do?
If there's no other reason to be here, I want to discreetly follow the guards just to see, where they go, where their headquarters is.
Okay, give me a... Hang on, give me a control security opposed check.
And I would definitely ask
I'm
them.
keeping at a very discreet distance here. I'm not being aggressive about it. I'm just trying to keep an eye on them.
Right, but this is to see if they, notice you.
Okay, control.
This is an
I'm going to buy an additional die with momentum.
Fair enough, and I'll buy an additional die with threat.
And I will also
I would
ask,
like to use my investigative techniques focus for this one.
Yes, I will allow that. Did that not go through?
Good roll.
Did my roll not go through? That's weird. Oh, there we go. Yep, you crushed him.
It's not just the doctor who has skills here.
Ignore that second roll.
And I think we get 3 momentum.
I think you do too. Or no, you might just get 2.
That may be, but my way may get us to see Landers sooner.
So yeah, you managed to follow the guard back to his barracks.
Okay, now I want to see how they're relaying the message. Are they just passing it on to another messenger, or is there some kind of a communications mechanism there? Smoke signals, for example. Subspace, for example.
Oh, I think he's trying to follow the one that went to go tell the king.
So, after maybe about 30 seconds, you see another guard leave the post, carrying a piece of parchment in his hand. The parchment appears to be slightly green. You could probably assume that it's maybe made from the leaves of the trees in the area. And you see him walking about, and he makes his way towards the largest building in the city.
Okay, that's promising.
It's the FYI, it's not this building, it's this building. This building.
I see.
So are you gonna
All right.
you gonna follow
I'm going to follow him. I want to see if this larger building is some kind of a restricted access area. I want to see who's going in and out. You know, and what kind of security processes they have in place.
After about another minute, you see the guard pass between a set of 2 more guards. He has to show a little piece of stone to them, and then he walks through. And you could assume that this is probably a security checkpoint.
I want to visually inspect other possible access points, second-story windows, other doors, service entrances, cargo
Okay, insight security, difficulty 3.
even with the tricorder.
Yeah, I'm gonna say even with a tricorder. This is you trying to find a flaw in what you could probably assume is like a palace security system. It is an old one, but it is a heavily guarded place.
Okay, I'm going to spend a determination for this one.
And are you gonna spend the momentum?
Yes, I
You
will
need to
spend
spend
determination
2.
and a momentum.
Okay, so you need to spend 2 momentum if I'm not mistaken to get the determination.
No. The
It's
determination
1.
is entirely independent of momentum.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, free will. Yeah, you can remove your your momentum. I'm keeping track of it again. It's
It's fine when I see you're
Okay,
not doing it. I'm
what value are you using?
I don't actually have values written for this character. He's a background character. Let me.
You're either gonna have to come up with a applicable value here, or just no, because you need a value to use.
Oh wait, here, man. I have a whole bunch of possible values here. I'm gonna use fortune sides with him
Fortune sides with him who what?
who dares. DARES.
I'm gonna say no, because this isn't you doing something. This is you just trying to figure out if there are any. If you were trying to break into this place, yes, I would let you use that. But you're not trying to break into this place. You're just trying to see if there are any weaker points.
Okay, how about this other one? Humanity has advanced when it has advanced not because it has been sober, responsible, and cautious, but because it has been playful, rebellious, and immature.
I'm gonna say no.
That's a hell of a value.
That's a long value, and I'm gonna say no.
Can I use a directive? It's our mission. It's the freaking
Yeah.
prime directive we are trying to uphold here.
This isn't a prime directive role. This is an insight security role.
This is a member of our crew is in there. They've been made High King of some primitive civilization. I think that is a
Right,
prime
but
directive role, really.
Right, but that's not what this role is.
Okay, what do you think, guys? Should I just roll it?
Yeah, just roll it
you
with
can-
one
We'll
momentum.
spend 3 momentum. We'll spend 3 momentum so you can get an additional dice. So yeah, take it.
I mean, this is just to see if there's.
Okay, so that's 4 dice. Using my investigative techniques focus.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. This is just to see if there is even a way in. That's to say nothing of whether or not.
Yeah, just take the dice and roll them. Can we spend the momentum to negate this botch?
Don't you have cautious?
Does he?
I do not have cautious.
No, actually, I'm gonna take that complication. So
All right, how much momentum do we generate?
you generate, you generate 2 momentum.
Fair enough.
So looking around, you see archers. You see archers with what look like. You can't make it out. It's either a crossbow or just a bow and arrow. You can't really make it out from this distance. But they're walking around the rooftops. There is a rope that leads from one window to the guard tower across, probably for hanging laundry, maybe. If you could get up to the top of that guard tower, there is a gap in the archers walking that you could sneak in through. But
Okay.
but in order to figure this out, you got pretty close to the guard tower, and all of a sudden over your shoulder you hear, "Hey, you! Get away from there."
And where's here? Sorry, I'm a traveler to this place. I'm just exploring.
Even if you're a traveler, you should recognize a capital's keep when you see it. Move along. I don't want to see you around here.
Capital's what now?
Capital's keep.
Yes, I'm pretending I don't know the word.
Oh. Okay. Capital's keep. You know what a capital's keep is. Every Canuck knows what a capital's keep is. This is my warning to you that the playing dumb act probably isn't going to work with this guy.
Pardon me, I meant no offense. I'll be on my way.
Okay? And he crosses his arms and he waits for you to leave.
Okay, I gather my team. We walk away casually, just talking, and I mention very quietly that if we're going to do this, the time to do this is going to be after nightfall. But first, let's see if the message about the doctor got a response.
After about maybe 5 minutes, you see a couple of guards approach you.
Hold on. While that's happening, I will talk to people around and ask, how is the new king? Like, how is he or whatever about him?
You want to gather some intel about this king?
Yes.
Sure. Insight command. Difficulty 2.
Oh, definitely assisting.
Well, this is.
Can I spend one moment?
No, the thing is, this is going to be what he was doing while you were off chasing that guard.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Can I spend one momentum? We have 5. Does cultural study apply?
Yes, I will let that apply here. Because you're rubbing arms with the locals. Hey, there you go. It did exactly what you needed it to. Yeah, you approach one of these Canucks and ask about the king, and he goes, it's great. We're finally able to grow some of the plants that they only have in Osteria. I mean, his know-how in how to divert the river here, the canyon river here, so that we can finally grow some stuff, absolutely inspired. We no longer have to just bank on our wood carvings and our silks.
And how is he as a person?
Well, I mean, not many people get to have a up-close and personal talk with him, but those who do, those lucky of us who do get an audience with him through personal service or whatever, says that he's an upstanding guy.
Is he interested in peace or warfare?
Huh. You even have to ask? I mean, we do call him the gentle giant for a reason, you know.
Oh, from that is his nickname comes from.
Yeah. You managed to talk some of the local raiding groups into integrating into our society. It was all very impressive.
Does he have any special powers?
Special powers? I don't. Well, I mean, he is from the heavens. He's not one of us, I'll tell you that. Oh, followers. What do you mean, followers?
No. I ask powers.
Yeah, no.
No, I ask.
Powers with a P?
Yes.
Yeah, with the P, like something like he has like special tech that does things. You know, that is why I asked. I will thank you for the information.
So,
And
so
when the chief comes back, I'll tell him everything, so everybody knows.
Okay, the chief just looks at you aghast like, okay, this is the second time in a month that I have had to gather evidence for a possible court-martial offense against a crew member. First penned and now this.
are you
What?
Hang on, are you going to notify the captain or the commander at any point?
Yeah, if it's my responsibility, I radio up and I say, Commander, first of all, several problems. First, there seems to be some kind of a time dilation effect here. A lot of time has passed since we last beamed up, possibly around 11 years local time. Second, it appears that that Lieutenant Land has actually been a heaven-sent, God King-like figure by the people on this world. He seems to be holed up in this palace. We're trying to figure out a way in. Security is pretty tight. We hope to have more updates for you soon.
I'm sorry. What? He's a god figure?
King size, actually.
King what, actually? Sorry?
He is a god figure, Mr. Sutland?
Some kind of a heaven-sent king, perhaps a god king. I'm speculating here. We haven't had the chance to interview him.
Mr. Sutland, get him out of there. I am getting a court-martial ready as we speak.
On it as fast as we can, boss.
Commander Jacoby out.
The doctor hasn't left standing in front of the guard. She's waiting to be let in.
I'll tell Scotland what would you expect if you got stuck for 15 years on a planet and everybody thinks you came from the heaven?
I would expect to figure out some way to not be not fall into the role of a heaven-sent cultural. Try to preserve at least some semblance of maintaining adherence to the prime. Some little bit of semblance.
I think we should hear his story first before we judge.
We're just in the investigation phase here, and in the trying to figure out just how much cultural contamination we need to try to clean up here.
I don't think this can
We
be
can worry
cleaned
about
up.
judgment later.
So, is there anything else you're gonna wait to hear back from the guards?
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
Okay, after about 5 more
I
minutes,
think-
a guard approaches Dr. Shran. He says, "Oh, I don't know who the heck you are, but you have an audience. Come with me."
Thank you. And I follow behind. I say,
I'll
let's go. Follow me. I just used the term assistant because they may not have military ranks, so I apologize ahead of time.
Okay, they will allow one of you to join as an assistant.
I'm taking Wallace with me.
What's his medicine skill?
Science of 4.
Yeah.
So,
And right now I also need comforting faces to women going in as opposed to an opposing security officer or a
Excuse me,
hornball engineer.
I am a Delton with the focus, seduction, and charm, and active pheromones.
Which would be bad in his case because he's a straight male and that would make him afraid or angry at you.
oh dear.
But
Either way,
yes,
Either way, it seems Dr. Shran has made her choice.
yes.
So, the
Very
guards
well.
lead you down a few of the winding roads and through the barricade, and into this very large building. Now, admittedly, this building was here even the last time you guys visited. And it's very roomy, spacious, and the airflow in this place is great, even though it must be something like 90 degrees outside. This place is a balmy 69 degrees.
It's still too hot. I'm in Dorian. This is still too hot.
Yep.
But yeah,
Very pleasant to think, Doctor.
if it was closer to 32 centigrade, it would be so much better. But I suppose if one had to live in a sweltering desert, this isn't too bad.
So they lead you up a series of stairs and into this massive chamber of stone. And there's very little wood forming in this place, mainly just for load bearing some of the walls. And it appears that all the stone has been cut very precisely, and sitting in the middle of the room on a throne that's made out of sort of that same bronzish gold material that you saw the statue of him earlier, sits Landers. He looks much older now, though. If you had to guess, maybe 7 to 12 years older. He has a little bit of a beard going on now, and his blonde hair has darkened a little bit. It is you.
Yeah, we only left 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, it has been 9 years.
That that is a long time. Well,
When they
when
they brought me the notice that said that a doctor by the name of Shran knew me and wanted to see me, I thought it must be some kind of a joke. Those divine heavens of theirs playing tricks on me, but no, now that the dance of the heavens is finally over, I think I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, I believe that wave that we were running from had a temporal effect with the radiation.
Yes, Yes, that would explain why you still look so young.
Well, I mean, that and Andorian physiology. I'm gonna look good well into my 60s.
That you do. That you do. And he just cracks a wry smile.
At least I got a smile out of you. You remember Wallace?
Yes. Although, that was an era ago.
Yeah. At the same time, you do still have families and responsibilities. And yes, I understand your responsibilities to these people are probably many. But you do still have to come home.
I'm gonna tap my communicator real quick in a sort of
You're-
silent
this-
signal,
dude, you're not
see
in
if
this-
anyone's
you're
available
not
to
in-
talk.
You are not in this scene. Please do not interrupt scenes that you're not a part of. What were you saying?
I was just saying that. Basically, I was saying that, he had family that would very much like to know, he's safe and everything.
I'm
I'm sure he's thought about it.
Oh, believe me, I've thought about it. But no, this is more a home for me than any I've ever had before.
Yeah, you do seem more confident.
These are a people that I can't leave. I've done so much for them. I've helped them come to peace with the raiders that plague them. I've helped heal their sick. Helped improve their irrigation.
I have one question for you, Landers. Do you believe you're a god?
I don't know what I believe. I don't think I'm a god. No, I know that I'm a man. But think about it. These people revolve their life around this event, this choosing of the new king. The new king among the heavens who, when the light show in the sky begins, one will appear before them, and that is, by their culture, to be the new king. So when the lights in the sky brought me, maybe that's who I was meant to be.
Maybe. If you don't mind, I would, as your former physician, I would still like to take a medical scan of you. But if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to Wallace here just for a little bit. And I kind of pull Wallace aside, and I'm going to ask her how long it would take for them to rig up an improvised signal booster
Signal booster?
for a transporter. Like, I want to spend momentum to make the advantage if it's possible.
Yeah, I could say that.
If she has to roll for it, that's fine. Or if they.
I could say that if you want to spend 2 momentum, you can link up your tricorders with your communicators and create a very crude signal booster.
Okay.
I've done
That's
it,
fine.
so yeah, you got it.
All right. And then I'm going to, if he said that, if he consented to a medical scan, I'm going to perform one.
All right. This hasn't been easy. I have missed my family, but when I really think about it, who was I before this? A no-name ensign on a little ship out on the edge of nowhere. here I'm somebody.
Yeah.
Here I make a difference.
Well, I'm glad to know you found your spot. And as soon as I get around to his back, I'm going to put my communicator on him and slap it and hit the comm button and say Hadfield 1 to emergency transport.
Oh dear. Okay. Give me a. First, I want you to give me a daring security check opposed.
Here's a momentum just for you.
Yep, thank you.
Daring security, I'm gonna spend.
It's fine. In fact, I want to spend a determination. Hesitation is as bad as an action, or fight over flight, if possible,
Yeah,
for the
I'll
auto
allow
success.
I'll allow that first one.
Hesitation is as bad as an action, okay. So I'm gonna need both of those momentum for the third dice. Sorry.
You'd best roll goddamn well.
7.
It's only one momentum because the value doesn't apply as a momentum.
Oh, hang on. That
Or as a die.
ignore that. That's actually it's only 4 successes. That first 2 shouldn't be a 2.
What first 2? It's 2 and 2. You're right, it shouldn't. Why did it do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did
why
you
it
set it as a focus?
Oh, that's yours, not
That's
mine.
mine.
Okay. Why did mine not go? There it is. Mine is 5.
Yep, you do it. And he turns up and he looks at you and he goes, "No." And
You'll thank me later. And then I look at Wallace and I say, we might want to do the same. But my comm badge is gone. Although you also might want to tell the away team to run.
Wallace taps her comm badge and says, Mr. Sutlin, just beam them back to the Hadfield. I suggest we all get out of here right away.
Okay, and
Say again, you did what?
Just do it, man.
We beam
Okay.
this.
I go and I see if we can find some relatively isolated corner of the city to see if we can beam without everyone seeing us beam out.
yeah, I'll say that you all can manage to one way or another get out, get the transporter back up to the ship.
Okay. Suitland
And
to
if-
Hadfield, beam up the entire team.
Yeah, that was I did a bunch of transporter effects to do that. So
Yeah, and if he's still struggling in the transporter room, I'm going to drop him with a knockout. I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna say you don't even have to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I assume you want like security to take him away or something.
Yeah, put him in the
Uh,
brig, let him cool
no.
off.
I take him away. I walk him to the brig, and I say as we're walking, King among the heavens. See, you did go to college.
Hang on. I just want to see if I have anything for it. Not really. I don't have anything for a brig. What did you say to him?
I say, so now you're king among the heavens. See, you did go to college.
You do
Oof,
not
oof.
understand. Without me, their entire culture will fall apart.
Have I
Allow me
noticed?
to remind you of Starfleet General Order 1 about cultural contamination. Do you remember that? Did they teach you about that at the academy?
Oh, don't begin to lecture me on cultural contamination. I did.
Yeah, you should be the one giving the lecture, Lieutenant, Ensign.
I did everything I could to keep those people from having their culture contaminated by the technology I brought with them. You'll notice that there wasn't a single bit of holographic technology down there, nothing that they weren't already capable of.
Yeah, where did this technology end up?
I destroyed it. I used my phaser, and I destroyed it.
Destroyed it how? With what?
I just
What
said
technology
His
is still
phaser.
there?
His phaser.
I just said he took his phaser and he destroyed it all.
Great, where's the phaser now?
I brought it to the canyon, set it to overload, and threw it over the side.
How about your comm badge?
Destroyed
Did
that
you at
too.
any point make contact with the ship or attempt to make contact?
Oh, I tried. All I got back was a loud screech.
Okay,
When I
so
call-
pretty
when I-
soon I'm going to come by
when-
and
when-
we're going to take your formal statement. We're going to go over every aspect of what happened down there on the planet.
When a culture decides that it's going to base its entire life around you and your existence, that's not the time to be saying no. That is when you cause even more damage than you could possibly imagine. What was I supposed to say?
All I can suggest with the information I have is no. You could have said no.
And bring their entire culture to a screeching halt. Oh, that would have looked so much better on the statement, wouldn't it?
Bring their culture to a screeching halt. Explain. How would your saying no bring their culture to a screech?
Because their entire culture is based around selecting a ruler, and once that ruler is selected, that is final.
And how were you selected? Why you?
Because they found me in a odd-looking structure, unconscious on the ground. I looked different from them.
Am I there as well?
No, it's just Sutland and Landers now
Okay.
in the brig.
Okay. I think I'm going to skip to a scene where we're taking his formal statement, and I expect the commander's going to want to be there.
Definitely.
If I may, I think I would want to be there too, since he was under my department. So
That's fine.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the whole goddamn senior staff can be.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah, he's basically told you what he did, is that the choice he made to accept this position as their ruler was purely because, from everything he could determine, their society would have collapsed if he hadn't.
What's his name again? Remind.
Landers.
He was Ensign Matthew Landers. Aged
Mr.
The other
Landers.
thing I wanted to ask about was, what does he know about any previous kings among the heavens? For example, how were they chosen? Did they look different?
No,
You know, is he unique in appearing as alien as he does to them?
yes, and that's one of the reasons why I'm considered one of the greatest rulers they've ever had, right alongside the first.
I'm not unsympathetic to your situation, but you had alternatives. You willingly placed yourself in a position where you were influencing their culture. I can't say you're blameless here.
I don't know what you would have had me do.
More to the
Mr.
immediate.
Landers, I think in this situation a preferable choice would be to suck on your own phaser and pull the trigger. That's just my humble opinion. But you chose the other way. You chose to become King of Kings for reasons which are beyond my comprehension. Now, Mr. Landers, the rules are quite clear, and I intend to enforce them. You will be court-martialed, and you will be sentenced, and you will lose probably everything.
Captain,
Well, it's
I
not-
have a
but
question.
hang on, and he looks at you and says, well, you know, it's not like I had a whole hell of a lot before this. I was nobody. And I finally got an opportunity to make a difference to some people, and damn right I took it.
Well, this reminds me of a work I read long ago. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. But nothing else now remains round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands that stretch far away. You know what's going to be left of your heritage, mister? Nothing. You did something completely illegal, and we will not tolerate it.
And what of the Canuck? Well, what's going to happen to them when they realize that their king is gone?
A new king shall be elected as monarchies technically work.
No.
What?
It'll be another, how long? 14 years before the Dance of the Skies come again?
They'll be forced to adapt, as cultures do. Unfortunately, you put yourself in a very difficult situation. I think further discussion on this matter is going to become irrelevant. His case will be heard before before Federation Court Martial. You'll be given the chance to plead your case to them.
Hang on, just a quick question.
So it may help your
Wait,
case
hang on.
to assist us now in figuring out ways to mitigate this cultural contamination now that
Hang on, just a quick question. Commander Jacoby, what was that quote that you gave me?
Ozymandias.
How do you spell that?
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias.
It's Percy Shelley.
Give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
I am Ozymandias, and on this pedestal these words appear, I am Ozymandias, King of Kings, look upon these works, ye mighty and
Ye
despair.
mighty and despair.
Nothing beside remains.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This story is about literally the guy that knew everything, more or less, and
Captain,
thought he was
I
a
have-
god.
Captain, I have a question.
Yes?
Wouldn't that still be interfering if your legacy says that a king will come from the skies and then that king will kill himself when he sees the people and then
They never
everything?
said that. It's the way it works.
No,
is-
I'm just putting as a scenario. If he would have killed himself, wouldn't that those people would say that the god came down, he killed himself, and they are doomed because of that? So I'm still saying that if he killed himself, he will still interfere with the culture. Why
Not
did
if
he
he
do
did
good
it
instead
before
of
they
bad?
found him.
Well, no,
Okay.
that's the thing. He didn't even. He was knocked out, and by the time
Yeah,
he
that's-
came to, they had already found him and were like, "You are the God King."
Yeah, exactly.
Captain, if I might make a suggestion.
He basically likens it to like a kitten imprinting on you.
Lieutenant Velas, I'm listening.
Ensign, how do they predict these stellar events that coincide with the choosing of new king? Do they have was it calendar based or?
No, well, I suppose in a sense it's calendar based insofar as calendars being based on the heavens.
What if we could find a way to recreate the stellar the same atmospheric phenomenon that coincides with choosing a new king? Would they be forced to choose a new king? Their culture could continue.
That could work.
Or another suggestion is that the king can go and tell them that he was called back to heavens because he did his work here, and they will need to do everything on their own.
Ensign,
The
I would
king
prefer not to put this man back into the contamination area where he has been for the past 14 years.
9 years.
9 years.
years.
9 years too many, if you ask me. Now it's going to be 100 in the brig. But, Lieutenant Velas,
I did the best I could with the situation I was dealt.
Lieutenant Velas, I do agree your solution seems quite reasonable, and I think it is. As for this, well, person, I don't even know what to call it. Lock him up, throw away the key.
And
Gentlemen, Meet me back at the bridge. I think we have work to do.
So the rest of them leave. Are you gonna say any last words to him or no?
Hold on. Let me see if I'm muted. Am I muted?
You're not.
Why not?
Okay. Then the doctor will kind of look at him, kind of sad and disappointed, but at the same time, you know, you could have at least found a cave and just sequestered yourself. I understand the being unconscious thing and then them imprinting, but at any point you could have left, but you
Ensign,
chose not to.
Ensign, you claim you had nothing before this happened. That was most untrue. You were a proud member of Starfleet, and you claim to have worn this uniform with pride. And you have just disgraced Starfleet and everything it stands for. In my eyes, you are as low as you can get.
Well, Captain, and so as you leave, the last words you hear before the door closes. Well, Captain, better to be first in a village than second in Rome. And the doors close.
Back to the bridge we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, now to figure out how to make a stellar light show.
Mm-hmm.
I can help with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
This will be a reason science difficulty 3 check.
We have no momentum, so determination.
Yeah, let me see if I have any values that might help there.
I don't, but I will help.
Passion
Wait.
tempered by caution is strength. Would that be one?
If nothing, I can use my determination to give them bonuses to rolls.
Huh.
We're still supposed to still have
So
one
hang on,
more.
let me look at
momentum.
everyone's stuff. So who's gonna try and make this roll?
The doctor.
This is to figure out a way to recreate
Yeah.
the. Oh.
Yeah.
Does the. This is
The
recent
science officer. The science officer is doing the main role. I'm assisting. I have a
Oh.
3 science.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So Lieutenant Velas will be doing the main.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see what you got. You got for values.
I think we still have one momentum, right?
No, we
No,
got
I
none.
had to.
Yeah, we're
I
tapped
had to
out.
burn it to get the king.
Yeah, but you burn 2 instead of 1. Because if you use your
Oh,
value, that
we
doesn't count as a
Well,
yeah.
either way, even if you only had one left, we're in a different scene now. So.
Oh yeah, scene change. So
Oh,
we
okay.
lost.
And actually, we didn't because when you use your determination for the auto dice, it still counts as you have 3 dice. So to get the 3rd dice to roll, you have to spend
Actually-
4 dice worth of momentum.
Actually, from what I know, it doesn't count as having extra die.
So hang on. So what is so the point is though I don't think you have any momentum.
Yeah,
Correct.
we definitely don't.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. So I'd say I would let you use your value analysis as the first step to understanding.
Okay, I'll accept that.
And you do. I will say that this is. You could use testing a theory because you did those previous scans on the sun earlier,
Okay, great.
and you got data on how the sun interacts with the radiation.
Okay, let me remind myself what that does really quick. Okay, so spending the determination gives me an automatic 1, and with testing a theory, I would have 3 dice. Would quantum field mechanics or warp field dynamics apply?
I will let quantum mechanics
Sweet.
apply.
So it looks like that's 3 successes plus the auto crit.
Mm-hmm. So that's 5 successes. You gain 2 momentum.
Yeah, I didn't help much.
Hang on. I gotta quickly type up the info for you.
Cool.
Hang on.
Alright, it appears that if we modulate the phasers and act from within the sphere of clear space around the sun, we could potentially recreate the scenario. The only caveat to that was that we need to modulate the shields to withstand the heat and solar radiation.
Can you do it, Lieutenant Velas?
Perhaps with assistance from with assistance from engineering, yes, I believe I could.
Very well. Get to it. Ensign Free will get us in position.
Mm-hmm. So to fly into that region of the star, that is going to be a let me think, a difficulty 2 check. Control con, assisted by the ship's engines con.
Okay, here's a momentum free will, so roll 3 dice.
What do you want me to roll?
Something reason con, right? Yeah.
For what?
You're flying into a dangerous area of the sun, which we are supposed to conduct our.
And that should be control con.
Yes, control con.
Or
Okay, my
danger.
bad. My bad. I said reason. My bad. Control con.
Control con assisted by the ship's engines con.
Yep. All right. So roll your thing first, and then I'll.
Can I use warp drive or combat maneuvers?
Nope.
You have 3 dice because I gave you a momentum, so use 3. Okay, and flip. But he got it, so yeah.
Okay. So you managed to put yourself right in position. You find the exact point where the solar flare occurred the first time. And so
Well,
now
Lieutenant Velas, we are here. Can you conduct the experiment?
Mm-hmm. This is going to be I think, a control security check assisted by the ship's weapons science.
All right, Lieutenant Velas. Control security, you said.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Does the security officer want to roll that then?
And it can be assisted by control engineering.
Did we already do the shield modifications we need?
Actually, no, you haven't. So you got to do that now. That's gonna be. I should have had you do that first. Whoops. That's going to be a control engineering assisted by the ship's structure engineering. Or either structure engineering or structure science. It might be structure science.
Okay, does Wallace want to be the lead actor in this and I can assist?
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be difficulty 3.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use. I use my value, meticulous scrutiny and pride in your work for an extra or for auto success. or is it only fun? It's only fun if it's risky. For my determination spend,
What was the first one?
meticulous scrutiny and pride in your work.
I'll take that third one.
Okay.
This is a pretty risky position you guys have put yourself in. You're right between the sun, the planet's sun, and a patch of radiation. In fact, just for bringing that up, I am going to spend a threat to increase the complication range to 2.
And take this final momentum that we have, if you wanted it.
Remember.
I'll have to give him a threat for a third dice.
Okay, just give him threat then.
No, I'll be giving it 1 threat and 1 momentum dice for a
okay.
third dice because I'm spending my determination for this.
Alright.
That's 5.
And now the ship.
Ship
And
rolls
then
what?
also,
Structure science, I'd say.
Science.
Because you're remodulating the shields.
We
and
generate
Philosophy
how much momentum?
as well.
And what?
Yeah, I'm just listening as well. I'm also a system control engineering, right?
Okay, so how much do we generate?
You generate 2 momentum.
Easy.
Great. So now it's the now it is the final roll, and I am going to spend 2 threat to increase the difficulty to 4. Or I'm sorry, increase the difficulty to 3. The difficulty is 3. And 1 more threat to increase the complication range to 2 again.
Okay.
So
Can I use my determination now to inspire the crew?
well, you can give it to somebody.
Who's gonna be main role? The weapons officer, the security officer.
Well, he still has a determination to spend.
Oh, he does. That he does
Am I
indeed.
muted?
So the question is, does he have a value?
Mr. Suitland.
What are we
What are we
rolling
trying
for?
to do here exactly?
You are trying. Well, actually, I will let the science officer explain it.
What we're doing is we are utilizing the phasers to recreate the solar flare that caused the atmospheric phenomenon.
Okay, let me think.
So this is going to be a control security check with weapons science from the ship. And I will allow an engineering assist as well, of control engineering.
I can assist with that.
Is this one where the value about being playful, rebellious, and immature may apply?
I'm going to say no.
Can I give him my determination?
It doesn't matter, he needs a value.
Oh. Dang it. Can I give him one of my values?
No, that's not how that works.
It's a damn shame.
This is essentially a creation play situation. What would you think would be an appropriate value for this character that would apply here?
My aim is always true.
Oh yes, that sounds like
That
good.
would work. It's one of those things where this is very much a situation where you're not going to get a value if it's something that's like emotion based, because this is very much a look, you just got to do the thing.
Yeah. Maybe sometimes you just gotta do the thing, maybe the value. Given my character's Starfleet upbringing, that may actually make sense. I'll take it.
Sometimes you just have to take the shot.
Yes.
I will let that fly. Barely. And are you going to spend the remaining 2 momentum?
Yes, considering
Yes, I will.
This is the final
Uh,
roll. Yeah.
Control security.
Mm-hmm.
What is the complication range on this roll?
2. 'Cause I spent threat.
We generate momentum. Can we use momentum to
Hang
negate
on.
this?
We gotta see what the ship rolls.
What is the ship roll again?
The ship is gonna roll weapons science.
Weapons science it is. Can we negate this botch?
Yes, you
Yes.
can. I will allow it.
Yes, we can.
So, hang on. Where's the sound? Because I just had it. And where is it? I just need the weapons sound effects. Hang on. Hang on.
That was pretty close.
Who needs
I'll take
sound
it. That
effects?
was good.
There we go.
The phaser lances out, and just as it touches the edge of this light blue radiation field, it explodes in a wave of purple, flashing across the sky. And all across the sensors, you see the orbits of the 5 planets speed up. The planet closest to the sun begins making rings around the sun, maybe every, like, in fact, it's moving so fast you can't even make it out anymore across the sensors. It's going across the sensor faster than your eye can make out. The other planets are moving at a rather rapid pace. The 4th planet from the sun, the Canuck homeworld, seems to be orbiting maybe once every 10, 12 seconds. And after 2 minutes, it fades.
Well, we got that done. Lieutenant Velas, one final scan of the system. What can you see?
Aye, Captain.
What are you
should I just do
looking
another? Just to, I guess I'm just trying to verify that this matches the sensor logs from when we first encountered that phenomenon. Make sure we didn't screw anything up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a difficulty 0. You don't, everything...
Yeah, we don't have to roll it.
Yeah.
So just tell us what it
Yeah.
is.
Everything looks good.
I'd say we did it, Captain.
Check the status of the planet.
Is the planet okay?
I mean, the
Life
planet-
signs. See, everything seems good. Can we assume that the life signs seem to be within spec?
Yep, life signs are, I mean, they're not much bigger. I mean, regular growth of a planet, but yeah, things seem stable enough, I guess.
Okay, so I'll lay back in my chair and exhale. And some free will, plot a course back to Narendra Station. We have work to do.
And
Aye, Captain.
let me find it. It's most used. I need to find. Not the Kismet, but I just need to keep moving things. And the ship warps off into the stars. And that, my friends, was First in a Village.
Da, 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 da.
But you are totally right. The doctor totally kirked it up in that room.
Yes, he did. She did. I'm sorry.
Whenever she realized she couldn't talk him out of leaving, or she couldn't talk him into leaving, she was like, I've got to force this.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta kirk it up.
So, what did you guys think?
I liked it. That was good.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
really good.
neat.
Nice session.
Yeah, I got a chance to quote Ozymandias. I'm cool.
And I got a chance to do the super duper Star Trek thing where you slip the title of the episode into the dialogue somewhere.
Where I didn't know.
The famous quote by Julius Caesar: "I would rather be first in a village than second in Rome."
Yeah, he wanted to be emperor, emperor of all men, and so
Yeah.
he did. By God.
And I'm gonna stop the stream there.
See,